What the fuck is up, Twitch?
Ayo.
Almighty orb.
Oh wait, let me pull up
All
my
hail
notes.
the orb. I gotta put my jack mic
It's
down.
like
Okay.
a column, I think. I imagined basically the what is that, like the Washington Monument, but black.
Wait, yeah, that's
Oh
exactly what
yeah,
I
that's
pictured
That's
too.
funny.
yeah. It's an
It was like the
obelisk.
Washington Monument, but if someone like
Really?
carved in a bunch of shit on it and then it was
Yeah.
black.
Did they say it was tall? I don't know. In my mind, it was just like
It
the bean of Chicago in underground.
damn.
Oh
No,
wow.
it was tall, but not that tall, I think.
Oh
Right?
What? I
I
don't know.
just
It's a big
It's
old
sizable.
big
It's
thing.
no, I thought it was
sizable.
Yeah.
I think if
huge.
it
I just saw
I think
Washington
it's
Monument, but like decreased in size.
yeah, it was like
yeah,
in my head it's like like same shape as
yeah,
Washington,
not
but imagine if it was instead of like towering over you, it's like
Like a mini version you could buy at a gift shop.
yeah, like
I don't
maybe
know.
like the Eiffel Tower,
Like
but in Vegas.
oh,
Like
that's
imagine
not what
that
I was
kind of
Yeah.
imagining.
difference.
I was imagining like 12 feet tall.
Oh,
But
I meant like in comparison.
I thought it could hide
Uh,
Andarna behind it. Like they said, like, oh yeah, like you wouldn't be able to see her behind the Wardstone. So I
And
was like,
Darna's still pretty small though.
Well,
really?
they described that like they could encircle it if they all like held hands around it when it
Yeah.
was the whatever the 6 people imbuing or
So it's
something. So it's
So
six
it's the size of
wingspans
like a small
around.
room, probably. The circumference of a small room.
Yeah, yeah. I guess yeah. I can hide an adolescent-sized dragon. So
All right. Anyway, where do we start?
We should do this in like in 5
Group
condense
it.
it to
Okay,
5
just like
little
arcs.
chunks.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
We could start with 34 to 36 because it's the entirety of the interrogation.
that's true.
Oh, and then
True.
it starts the part two. My my first note at the beginning of chapter 34, I wrote a note that said, "All right, kind of anticlimactic."
Yeah.
I agree. I was so mad that nothing happened.
I also said kind of an
Especially when we
anticlimax.
ended off with like
Yeah, it
he's
was a
not gonna make it.
cliffhanger. And then it resolves in the first sentence of the next chapter.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah,
and
like,
they're
that's
like,
okay,
kind
and
of
well, what,
Zayden came through. And I was
what's
like,
the
okay.
point of doing that? We could have just done that at the end of the last chapter. Like it's not, and
yeah.
it's not even like on the other side of the next page. It's because of like the way that it's printed. It's on the literal next page.
Oh really?
You
Oh
just, yeah,
man.
yeah. You don't even
Yeah,
have to
that's
turn the
kind of
page.
that's kind of my problem with her way of writing. Like it's such a not a cliffhanger because it's literally like the most unsatisfying resolution.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like a bunch of little tiny cliffhangers, but all the
Yeah,
time, so that the impact is nothing.
yeah.
Is nothing.
Yeah, she like that chapter to chapter felt like I should be waiting for the next book or something, or like
Mm.
something longer
Yeah,
than the next sentence.
yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
what happened?
But
Okay, they come through the
essentially,
door.
okay, so
Everyone's
30,
fine.
okay, so like 34,
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
heist is finishing up.
She drinks
Uh,
something, which immediately sparked a red flag in my mind. I was like,
Again,
girl,
I was like,
girl, girl.
I wrote,
oh
I wrote the
wait,
note.
but
When are we gonna learn this
before
lesson?
she drinks it, before. Oh wait, also I want to say I made a joke that everyone is getting brain damage in in this fucking heist. Apparently,
Yeah.
they keep knocking people out repeatedly.
Yeah.
But
Oh
aside from
yeah.
that, we got a little tidbit from Quinn and her astral projection, and we learn about what happens when you bond with a dragon that was one either related to you, so your signet is stronger like hers, or if
Um,
if it's someone in your direct line,
Okay, so
yeah.
this
then
was the
you go
first time
crazy
That's
or
they
where
get a
brought it
this
up.
second signet.
happened.
Mhm.
That's where this came from.
Yeah. Because when
Yes.
they mentioned it
Yeah.
When it comes
later,
up later,
yeah, I
I
was
was
like,
like, I don't remember
I
that.
guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I remember that very clearly because I was like, oh, Zayden's gonna get it because it's his grandpa.
But when did they mention it
One
was
of
his
the
I don't
grandpa
remember
better.
again?
that.
The first
It
In
was
the
a
book?
first
while
book.
ago.
I
First
The
didn't
book.
even
first book,
remember that.
yeah.
I could not remember.
It was probably like the first thing they ever said about Zayden, and then
Yeah.
Are
we
you
never talked
serious?
about it again until
Yeah,
now.
I was
I
like,
don't
I
know.
mean, to be fair, like why would you keep mentioning this grandpa dragon bonding? I guess.
okay,
I
but
will
It's
give
like
it
something.
to her. It's one of the better foreshadowing in
jumping
the
forward
book.
because we're not going to go in like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
chapter by chapter. all right, I think it was a bullshit reason to say like, oh yeah, but my grandpa's only noted as like my great uncle or some shit. And I'm like, what? Because after they
I
reveal
will
that, I'm like,
say that
how did they not know that he had a second signet? Because obviously he's not crazy, and if everyone knew that he bonded with his
no,
grandpa's
because
dragon,
they didn't know that was his grandpa.
yeah, but how? How do you just not know that's not your grandpa? That's not even like your great great grandpa.
Remember, it's mythological times, so one, bookkeeping is obviously not accurate,
I
and
guess.
two, they might have had a because remember his mom is left when they were
Oh,
young.
is
There
it on
could be some family.
his
It might
mom's
be
side?
some family antics going on that like why they hid the fact that he's a direct descendant and
I
stuff.
don't know. Maybe they'll get
I
into
would,
that
I
in the
would be
third book.
Anna though, because like he's
I'm
a
gonna
royal.
I'm gonna trust very hesitantly. Yarros said this for a reason, especially because we specifically talk about his mom fulfilling the contract to be with her dad to raise an heir and stuff. So maybe there is reasonings for it. Maybe the grandpa was ostracized back in the day. I don't know.
That's the thing though, because he's a royal, like literally
Yeah.
an heir. How do you not record keep the? You know, like I would believe in like an Avatar, right? I guess we're going
No,
to Avatar,
I'd still
like
believe it. I'm sure there's shady stuff going on with royal families.
Prince Zuko not knowing that Avatar Roku is his grandfather, great grandfather. I forget.
I don't know
And
why
then
can you believe it in Avatar but not here?
No, but I'm saying that's his great grandfather. It was like removed.
More distant.
Yeah, and
Oh,
and
but
things.
no, but if it's on his, because I actually don't know if it's on his mom's side or dad's side. But if it's on his mom's not like I think the mom wasn't part of like the normal royal stuff, obviously, or she wouldn't have had a contract to produce an heir.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it has to do with her mom's family being weird, and we'll find out.
Maybe
I'm
we'll find
assuming in the
out
next
in
book.
the third book. Maybe.
Onyx Storm
Maybe
coming
not.
January 25th.
Oh, is that really the
I would
date?
assume. And to be fair, I don't think
2025.
she's left that much out of what I wanted to know so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's just her writing in the moment is always kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't. I have no trust. She's gonna answer
I have
any
no trust.
questions.
I have no trust either.
Wait,
I
what
think
hasn't she answered that you guys want to know? I mean, there's a bunch of stuff like outside of the main story, I guess, that
it's
I
not
kind of want to know,
the
but it's less
it's not
about
the
answers.
answers. It's like the world building
The
and
lack
the
of world
explanation
building.
behind them.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
I
when
agree.
she
No,
just-
yeah, world building, I agree. But I think with the character stuff, I feel like she'll probably get to it, especially if it's relating to Zayden.
Yeah. Now I feel like Zayden's holding answers from me, and I'm like personally like
Tell me everything,
how come I
Zayden,
don't know
please.
everything? Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm okay with having like secrets, but they have to make sense within the rules of the world.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's yeah.
not no.
I mean, the Zayden stuff, I feel like still does make sense in the rules of the world.
Is
To
he
me,
the only
I don't
one
know
that
if
can like control his like intrinsicness? Like
No, they just kill people once they find out they're an intrinsic.
Yeah, he was just really good at being secret.
I guess.
Because
know,
his
that's
also
his thing.
wasn't is technically not as bad as most other intrinsics, or at least like the ones we heard about, where you
Mhm.
literally just read people's
Go
minds
insane.
and can't shut.
Yeah.
And like most people probably wouldn't be able, but his was just like reading intentions, so it's not as like bombarding
Intrusive.
to your
yeah.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember that one
And he,
kid,
like,
he just started
knew it.
screaming like,
Yeah.
"Get
Yeah,
them
he
out
went
of my
insane.
head!" And he
And
isn't
they
even like a second signet intrinsic. He just was an intrinsic.
regular. And
Rip.
they said that like, Zayden says that he saw whoever it was, like Car or whatever, kill like an intrinsic like in front of him before
Mhm.
his thing manifested. So it was probably like when it happened, he was like, okay. And
Yeah,
he's
had
like,
to control it.
He's known for his control, so then he was kind of more prepared for it. I
But
guess.
not with Violet. LOL.
And also remember, he already has one signet that he learned how to kind of control and harness at that point. So he probably would have an idea of how controlling signets work in the first place. So it's like two layers of why he probably was able to get away with it.
All right, we'll just chuck it up to Zayden being really good at stuff.
It's because he's so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
He can just do it.
Yep, exactly.
He's so emo.
Everyone knows a shadow daddy can do whatever they need to.
All right, the rest of the interrogation. Yeah, I was
once
like,
again,
yeah,
Varish is a complete piece of shit.
yeah. They
bitch
really
ass.
had me
fucking
crying
hate
again
them.
by having us hallucinate Liam. That was pretty cool. Like I like that part.
Yeah.
But then hallucinating Liam
Yeah.
broke my goddamn
Exactly.
heart,
Yep.
bro. She was having full
So sad.
conversations with this dead man.
I know. I was like, yo, Violet is gone. She's she is so like crazy right now.
Dude,
Ugh.
like when she was like, "Please don't leave me alone," he's like, "I'm not going anywhere." I'm like,
Yeah. And then
so
when
sad.
Dane was searching her memories and Violet was like forcing herself to feel like the pain over and over again to like force it through to Dane, I was like,
just
oh
to
my
force
god.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. But then, wait, what was it? I remember when he brought Dane in. I was so mad for a second. I was like, "No, Dane, you gotta be a bitch one more time." But
Oh,
then
he surprised us.
Yep.
he did surprise me. She really made me
Yeah.
hate Dane.
Yeah.
That I would have never thought he would turn sides.
Yeah, me too.
I
I was
did.
honestly I was impressed, but at the same time, it's like
It
the Violet literally showed you
no,
wyverns.
yeah. But a
Like,
part of me would still believe at this point, before Dane switched sides, that Dane would call them out on it and like still believe like we got to do it through the system kind of thing.
Mhm.
I still would have believed that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like I thought he would turn at some point because of like how much he seemed hurt by the fact that like Violet wouldn't like talk to him or anything after. Like he seemed really wrecked by it. And also like it's not like I wouldn't have put it past Yarros to just have him be this like throwaway character that always does his thing, but it would have been really boring if he didn't get any kind of redemption. It would have been
Plus
really
we
like
needed
one
him
note,
to
I felt.
translate, so
No, I don't think so
He
because
was.
I think you could make it interesting that he still stays on their side, believing he should fight from the ins like not like as a secret spy, but like it's like a pretty common trope, you know, like we got to do it through the system versus the system's broken and we just got to go away.
Yeah, but like
I don't know
for
how
him to be
good
like
how possible it would
letting
be
him be
unless you're
tortured
you're
and
also
stuff like
writing
that.
from Dane's perspective. So
Mhm.
I don't know how possible that would even be. But it could have been interesting that he turns kind of in a different way. Cuz I was like, I don't know if like I believe that he just now I mean I get
Yeah.
kind of,
But then
I
also at
still
the end
don't
we get
believe he
the
would just turn that
explanation.
quickly.
Yeah. Well, neither did Zayden, but Zayden can read intentions, so he's like, that's when I knew. So, because I did also find it a little like shady. I'm like, so Zayden's actually gonna trust Dane right now, like in this chapter. I was like, that's really weird of Zayden to just not
Oh
like
yeah,
slit
no,
Zayden's
that's
throat.
what I was thinking too. That like why did he like specifically go to him? Is like, are you in or out? And then he's like, okay, he's good. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
I was like, that was really weird.
Huh?
All right, but now we know. You know.
Like he like daps him up. He's like, okay, we chill now. Let's go. I was like, I was like, what?
Yeah.
But
All
then a
right.
part of me,
That's something.
like, kind of, a part of me reasoned it that Zayden was probably gonna still like keep an eye on him, and like it's gonna be like a tentative kind of thing. But I guess
Mhm.
it now makes sense why he knew.
Yeah, it backwards explains a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, so he never actually was worried. We never actually had to worry about any of this stuff because like Zayden has superpowers.
Yeah. Literally.
He's fucking Professor X out here.
And then
Yeah.
But
Violet's mom
also,
walks in.
a-
Oh yeah. What
as
else?
Dane
Mm.
betrays Varish and they finally get his ass. Finally.
Get his ass.
As they're escaping, Violet's mom shows up. Sergeant, what's her rank again?
General.
General
Yeah.
Sorengale comes out and lets them escape.
Yeah. I was like, dang.
She does love her daughter.
I said she did really love her
Mom was
scribe
never
husband.
fully evil.
No, yeah, I knew
Literally-
I knew she wasn't evil. Whenever they described her, aside from when like Violet called her like an ass and all this stuff, like she didn't
She
seem
was
like
just
a
like Tiger
bad
Mom.
person.
Yeah.
It did feel very Tiger Mom. Like she probably still cares about her. Especially when they keep telling me that she doesn't care about her, I know that she actually does
She
care
actually
about
cares.
her.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
and it makes sense. Like, I actually do agree. Like, it makes sense why she forced Violet to go into the Writer's Quadrant to keep her out of Markham's.
Markham.
how you
Markham's,
pronounce
Yeah.
it?
yeah, Markham.
Markham's.
The
Markham.
grip,
Like,
because like she knew Violet would never, ever
Allow
join
that,
that
yeah.
side, so they would
Yeah.
kill her instantly.
Yeah.
exactly. So I
Mhm.
mean, it made sense. Like her. I mean, it would have been nicer. I don't like if like I don't know had Violet trained for longer because I think in the beginning of the first book she says that she
Yeah.
only trained for 6 months.
Wait, but what? It wasn't
Yeah.
it because what? Wait, actually, when did the dad die up until when she had to go to
He
the
died
writer's
years
quarters?
ago.
5 years
He died
ago.
years
Like
ago.
So
5
why did she
years.
only
Yeah.
start training for 6 months?
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it would like all
Oh,
these
wait,
like
wait, wait. Maybe it's her. The mom was still grieving and didn't really think about it until like more recently. And then also remember, Violet probably fought back on
Yeah, I
training
think the
at all.
mom meant it to be sudden though. That way, like Violet basically can back out. She's like, nope, in 6 months you're gonna be joining the Riders Quadrant, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not.
Yeah,
know.
it kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't. It's
I
one
mean,
of those
yeah.
things again in these books where I just go,
Sure.
I
yeah,
believe
sure.
it.
Yeah, go with the flow. Yeah, because like if she had known from the beginning that that's what Violet was, that to save Violet from herself, she needed to switch her from the Scribe Squadron to the Riders. I would have like started earlier to make sure she doesn't die,
Mhm.
especially if I know how often Riders die. I like how in when they were jumping ahead, but when the the Flyers and the Riders were going through
Mm.
the mountain pass, and then the Griffins were like the Flyers was describing their like ritual of jumping off, and then if they
Yeah.
fail, they just swim to the shore and they look at the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when
wait, this is literally what we've been saying since the beginning, that it's fucking
Yeah.
stupid that they kill people for
Exactly.
for no reason.
For no reason. So I mean,
I'm
general the
so happy that someone within the context of the world said, "You guys are fucking
guys are-
crazy."
Yeah. So they
I love
definitely meant it to
that little
seem insane.
Yeah, I can't believe there was someone in the book to call them out on how stupid of an idea it is
I'm
to
glad it was
kill cadets or even people who potentially can be a cadet. It's so fucking stupid.
and even they're like, all right, fine. I got my in-universe I don't know, seal of approval
Mhm.
So
for us.
she knew that
Mhm.
someone would question that, like, why do you guys just kill everyone? And so like she
But
tried.
going back, like the general would know just how harsh it is to become a writer. I would have put her 5 years ago and started training her, regardless of what she said, because it didn't matter anyway.
I agree, or maybe her mom just truly believed, through grit alone you can make it through.
Pull yourself off of your bootstraps.
She's like, actually, you're just a Sorengale, so you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
It's like, I believe in my
And,
genes.
and to be fair, she was right.
But I
Yeah,
think
she
it's
was
also
right.
because
Like,
she had that agreement with Zayden already though, so she probably
Yeah, no,
knew
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
But,
That is
like,
true.
but also,
yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, we forgot to
Yeah.
mention, like, the Zayden talk with the mom, the agreement to protect Violet.
That is true. They did
Yeah.
have that going on. So
And also, I wrote in the end of 36, like, when they're leaving, I think someone had noted, like, Dane was trying to say something, and they're like, I'm listening to Zayden. He's the wing leader. And then I just wrote, Zayden is the wing leader.
The TM wing leader.
And also, fun note at the end of that. Oh, when they're escaping, after they escape the interrogation, some of the teachers, the cool teachers,
Yeah,
join in to
Deborah, let's
escape.
go.
yeah.
Deborah,
Yeah.
I was like, I called Deborah was one of the cool ones.
Yeah. That was good.
And I called it that she was the one who put the flyers out. I fucking called that shit.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that the last stream because you were like, oh,
Yeah.
who could it have been?
Look back at the receipts. I said Deborah was the one who did it.
We never doubted you, bro.
But also we get to see Bodhi's signet finally.
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't think they
I
ever
realized
mentioned
they
it.
never showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never even mentioned it because he honestly is only ever there during like calm moments, except for I guess like when they
Bodhi seems
fought
chill. I like him.
in Resin.
Mhm.
But like we didn't really follow his fighting. But his signet is a cancellation. Signet cancellation specifically.
Mhm.
And I just said Aizawa sensei for real.
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
in My
Yeah,
Hero
give
Academia,
us your
there's
head.
someone who can do that.
But I will
Design,
say
all
that
the
is
cool
it's
guys.
really cool because like he like literally like puts his hand out and twists like turning off a knob, turning down a knob, and then the guy seeing it just like sputters out. That's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, he just turns
Well,
the
I
off
didn't
switch.
even
Well, you
I
said
didn't even understand that's how his signet worked. Like I just remember what was it whose flames that just died out and I was like,
Yeah, no,
what?
because they specifically say Bodhi stuck his hand out and twists like a
Like a
like a
stove.
quarter
like
circle.
he's turning a dial.
like turning a dial, and then he's like smiling while he's doing it, and then the guy's flame just sputters out.
Dang.
That's fucking cool.
Bodhi
I will say
says,
that's pretty cool.
I'm not letting you cook.
He said, "No cooking."
He said, "Fire off."
Yeah.
And I'm actually I don't know, I'll wait till the end to talk about what I want to talk about with signets.
Mm.
But at the end of
So,
that
okay,
chapter, they
that's
all
part one.
fly to
Yeah.
what is it called again?
Aratia.
Arisha.
Arisha?
How are we
Yeah,
calling it?
Oh, is it Arisha? I called it Aredia in my.
I said
Arisha.
I mean, it could be
Aratia.
already. I read it as Aredia, but I guess it's Arisha. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
said
point. I guess it
Aricia,
really
but
doesn't
I
matter
have
that
no
much.
idea.
Arisha?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, is Arisha, Aredia,
Like Alicia Keys, but
Aratia?
Arisha.
Artia?
Arisha is what I call it. That
Yeah.
TI sound is
It's
usually
a
the
she.
sh.
Yeah.
Arisha pronunciation.
Oh,
Oh no!
Lucia.
Wait. Okay, you
I
guys
mean,
can
how would you
continue.
know? Everyone just reads it. You have to wait until the TV series comes out.
Yeah.
In the audiobook, they pronounce it Arisha.
Oh, good.
Arisha?
Good to
Okay.
know. Oh, it's true. I
But
forgot there's an audiobook version of this.
as Brandon Sanderson says, or was it Sanderson? There is no right way to pronounce anything in these books except for the way that you pronounce it in your head, because the book is
Aw.
not finished until someone has read it.
Wow, that's so
Aw,
philosophical.
that's cute.
He's like, I may say it like this, but that doesn't make it any less right, any more right than what
He's
you
like,
think
listen, it's all made up words
pronounced."
anyway. However you want to pronounce it, do it.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm gonna keep calling it Aurelia because in my head it sounds more fantastic.
Yeah, we still know what you're talking about, so it doesn't really matter.
But they finally
Yeah.
arrive in Aurelia.
And then I said,
Rebellion.
Zayden is confirmed a stomach sleeper. Ella. Because he was just like face down in a pillow, and I was like, huh?
I will say, wild position to sleep in.
Yeah.
It's a good position to relax in, not to sleep in.
This guy's
I sleep
crazy.
on my stomach sometimes.
I used to sleep on my stomach.
You
I
guys
can't
are
do that.
crazy.
Oh,
I got
yeah. I can't
I got a
breathe.
tummy ache if I sleep on my stomach.
No, eventually just got back pain.
Oh, I guess that's yeah. But to be fair, I also sleep like a psycho sometimes, and I sleep fully on my back with my arms across my chest, like a fucking mummy.
Oh, sometimes do that.
So-
If they're like crossed along my like.
Yeah,
reach
so
or
sometimes
something.
it feels nice to be like really tucked in, like I'm a mummy.
Mhm.
And okay, this is very beside the point. But what was it? Oh, they arrive in Aurelia, and they immediately get put
Ew.
on trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
for sure.
it's cool to learn that the scar on his face or neck or whatever was from the deal with the mom, right? For no,
Yeah,
it was
for-
it was with the deal with the council to say that he's in charge of Violet now. Because it's
Was
like
it?
it's like an Aredian tradition to
I thought it was
Oh,
in
you
his
mean
chest.
you mean the new
chest.
scar?
Oh, maybe it's chest.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Chest
I mixed it up.
This one.
He got a new scar on his chest or neck or something.
To prove that
from
Violet
the
would be
council,
good,
like at
right?
the end of Fourth Wing, to say that like if she fucks up, it's on me.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, the hardcore. That's like Yakuza type shit.
That's because yeah, it's like a tradition, I guess. Apparently in Aurelia, I'm mixing up my books now. Oh my god, I was about to call it Terrassian. That's in Throne of Glass.
Completely different book.
I'm reading too much fantasy books. They're all kind of melding in my brain.
What chapter is that? I'm like scrolling through my notes.
Chapter 37 is
37?
where we learn that he has a scar for
Right.
Violet too from
Yeah.
the council.
We're now into part 2.
I put part
Part
2
two.
rebellion in my notes.
It's actually Revolution.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's revolution. I mean, I guess it depends on who you're asking.
I know.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
ask Melgren, he says they're no good terrorists.
You know, good terrorist.
But also, happy note, Adarna finally wakes up.
Yay,
from her
and Darna
sleep.
dialogue. That's what I wrote.
She's not asleep forever.
And she's a teenager.
And she's an angry
Oh
teenager.
yeah, she's
But,
so annoying.
but also, she's a scorpion tail now.
Did they say her tail
That-
shape
Oh,
changed
yeah.
too?
Yeah.
I never knew
in
what her.
38, in 38, they specifically
get one.
mentioned she's a scorpion tail.
So, but before that, was
Yeah.
she just still a feather tail?
Yeah, feather tail.
Mhm.
All baby dragons
Yeah.
are
So wait.
feather tails.
So for the rest of the book, was she still a scorpion tail, like tail
She's
shape?
been a
I mean.
scorpion. Yeah, it's
Okay,
always been a
okay.
scorpion tail since she got
When
the new
Too
tail.
bad I don't
Emerged.
remember what
and,
that
and,
means.
and they
Yeah, I don't
specifically
remember.
talk about I don't know if it was in this book, but
No, I think it's probably the
for
first
like
book.
a dragon tail is similar to a signet manifestation, or at least the first signet, where it's based off of a dragon's want and need, and also a mix of it's actually and personality kind of too. So like theoretically, the Morning Stars are always the most powerful. even though everyone probably wants a morning star, if their innate personality or like drive is not matching with the morning star uh vibe, then they
Vibes.
won't get one. They'll probably get like
It's
a
vibes
dagger or a
based.
sword. It's literally vibes based. Like
Vibes
us.
Vibes.
based solely on vibes.
So that just proves how much of a badass Tarn is. Because he
Yeah,
got one. He's a real one.
he believed.
He's my favorite character in this
He's
book,
so
hands
funny.
down.
I love him. Yeah,
He's
his
everything
dialogue.
that like I want him to be my dad.
Yeah,
Like
I want him to tell me to shut up in my head when I'm being stupid. I also wrote, oh, that they got more patches. That's so funny that the Revolution is
Yeah.
trying to like mimic school still. They're like, we made some patches, I guess, for you guys.
But also would like to say sad revelation with Adarna though. She'll never be able to have a
Yeah.
rider.
Wow.
She'll never be able to
No.
bear a rider because she
Mhm.
kept prolonging her sleep too long.
But I
I mean,
felt like
But it's
it's
like
one of those
fine
things
because she
that they
doesn't need one because she
yeah.
has Violet.
no, I agree. No, I agree. She doesn't need one
Like,
because she has Violet and Tarn would always carry her. But it's still sad because like apparently she was very much looking forward to being able to have Violet ride her.
Maybe with more winged
Yeah.
physical therapy, she can manage it for short
Yeah.
flights.
I think it's one of those
Maybe.
things where she's gonna be able to
I
like
I'm
it's gonna come in clutch one of those
I'm thinking, maybe we're gonna How to Train Your Dragon it. They're gonna give her some kind of contraption to help bear the weight load. Because I don't know if she'll be
exactly.
able to fully, because can't even compensate for her own weight yet
Hmm.
with like
Mhm.
with the lack of the extra muscles. So I feel like they would need to have some kind of artificial or magical modification for her to be able to bear the weight of a person. To be fair though, Violet's tiny. So maybe
She's
like it's not
small.
that much more. She's
She's
small and
very
Small,
her
she's
small
her
and
weak.
joints are
hurt.
so
Oh my
weak.
god. It's
And
like
she
the
needs
running
to
joke every time we mention her.
wrap her arms and legs
Bro,
every time she
she's
steps
like
on.
Yeah.
surpassed the frailty of being frail. Why is she always? I feel like she's too frail.
That's
It's
like
unbelievable
the
at this
SpongeBob
point.
meme where the guy's telling
She's
that
very
sob
frail.
story. He's like, every day my bones break.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, with
I'm like,
the
Oh,
I
yeah.
forget what that shit is.
Yeah.
They're made of glass.
Yeah, my
and
bones are
this
made
this
of glass.
super frail writer who like got tortured like multiple times for 5 days and she's fine. I mean, sure,
Yeah,
she got mended, but
like it's hard for
like
me to
what?
believe with how much they mention how frail she is that she's able to survive anything.
Yeah,
It's
no,
that
it's
plot
all
armor.
Because
it's the
like
plot armor.
normally, like if you describe someone as frail, like you kind of slowly stop describing them as frail over time because you want to prove that like they're getting stronger. But I don't think she ever stopped.
No,
So
she
it's
didn't.
getting hard for me to believe that she's surviving anything anymore.
Yeah. I think it's more of just because it's supposed to be like realistic, right, to author's experience with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is not like
Oh, true.
curable. So she would never get better. Like your joints would never become less like loose, whatever
True.
the case is.
But
It's
then
just
I
like
don't think they'd be able
she's
to
able
ride
to
dragon.
bear.
But then it's like unbelievable that you'd
Well,
be
yeah,
able to do
well
any of this.
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. But I think it's just like what she can stand, It's like, oh, well, all her joints still like her
Ah.
shoulder dislocates all the time, but she like now she can push through it or like,
Oh, yeah, actually,
whatever it is.
my coworker's boyfriend dislocated his shoulder for the 7th time
Oh,
in Japan
jeez.
recently and had to get
Jesus.
surgery because of it because all the dislocation wore down the
Like
what
the
is it called?
socket.
Ligaments?
Oh.
The socket.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
Wait, how does he keep
And you want to
dislocating his
this is a
shoulder?
very
know.
big this is a very big side note. You want to know how he dislocated it?
Wait, this last time? How?
Yeah, this last time.
What, like
He
pulling
was in
open like
Japan.
a
They were in
door?
Japan and they went to the Muscle Girl bar.
Oh god.
And they did
Oh,
The
he
arm
did
wrestles.
no, he did like the chest fly first like challenge and he did that. He said he went way past when he should have. And then they were like, "Oh, do you want to do?" Oh no, he did bench press first. And he did that and he already was like, "I should probably stop." But then he got convinced to do the like another exercise and so he was like really weak and when he put his hand down on the bar, it slipped, dislocated his shoulder.
Oh gosh.
oh my god.
That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so
You put your
embarrassing.
hand down and then just pop your whole arm off.
Apparently, one of the muscle girls was a physical therapist, so she was able
Mm.
to help him then they went to the hospital.
Oh god.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, don't dislocate your joints, kids. Not very good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like fun. All right. Oh yeah, Mira's joining. Hell yeah. Remember we were wondering
yeah.
whether she would join or not.
Ooh.
And she's like, is she
Oh yeah,
too
yeah.
much of a
I was wondering
bootlicker or?
is she true? Is she a bootlicker or not? Because like you could make an argument up until this point. She could go either way.
I honestly thought she would stay, like with
I
Navarian.
I also
I
a
didn't.
little bit thought, but I believed in my girl.
I
Because
thought
like
she would join.
Mira loves Violet too much to leave
Mhm.
her alone in all of this. I think
That's true.
too.
She is
I
very
also
like
never got
strong-willed.
the
And
impression she was a bootlicker like Dane. Like,
Yeah, oh
she
no,
Yeah,
no,
not-
she's
not
not a
as
true
much.
Yeah.
bootlicker,
Mhm.
but she loved her country. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Is the only reason why I would have said, like I could see it going that way, but I don't believe it would go that way.
Yeah, I said she's so funny for punching Brennan in the face after they
Oh
first
yeah,
see each other for the
I
first
was
time.
like,
I was like, yeah, let's
in
go,
my
Mira.
head, deserved
Yes.
it.
Absolutely. I mean, he's
I just like that Brennan was like, oh my god, Mira, you were finally together again, like
It's
as
like,
if
bop.
he wasn't dead to them for years.
Yeah.
And
Like,
he
yo,
thought it was
what's
just
up,
gonna
Mira?
go over well,
Like, tries to
especially
dap her up.
knowing Mira's personality.
Yeah.
Like, what did he think was gonna happen?
Yeah, that's why he's like, I'm okay. Like, he half accepted it.
But then, they get their little reunion. They
Mhm.
start like little mini school out there. And then Violet has the dumb idea to go get that luminary.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I understood where she was coming from, and she felt bad that her translation was wrong. Which, I mean, there's a reason for it later, but
Yeah.
I can get that part. I will give her that one.
So wait,
Yeah,
39.
but
They try
then-
to
but then
raise the
sh-
wards on the stone for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one complaint I
Oh,
had
yeah, I
that
guess that's a good thing to
I made a
mention.
note of was I guess Violet is like speaking with Mira and Brennan in like the room, and then Zayden walks in, and this is literally the dialogue. It says like Violet, hi, Zayden, hi, ... and I'm like, what is this dialogue? What is going on? Like they weren't
They're
even
just-
like
they're-
mind
they're-
speaking. It was just like hi,
Tension.
hi,
They're just a couple of
Right.
shy,
Oh my God.
angry little guys.
angry little guys and girls. But anyway, yeah. And then when
So-
they said they would try to raise the ward, so they basically all like bleed on it or something, the 6 most powerful riders. I'm like, wait, if they knew that they had to bleed on the stone, shouldn't they have come with like bandages and not just like start bleeding out on their hands? Because that's what basically happened. Zayden tore his shirt.
Miana,
Yeah.
they're riders. They're
Oh my
tough.
God.
They don't need bandages.
They don't need
They've
they don't
never
need
used a
Okay,
bandage.
well,
in their
Violet needed a
lives.
bandage, so
You just lick your wounds to make them better.
ew.
If you think about it hard enough, you can make yourself stop bleeding.
Yeah,
That's what they teach you in class.
Of course. You just
If you have the
just
will,
flex,
you can stop your blood.
you just
Yeah.
flex your hand muscles so
Yeah.
hard that they stop bleeding.
That's actually a 3rd year class. That's why Violet didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
was
I
the
just thought that
first
was
aid class
dumb. I
to
was like,
take in the-
weird.
where you learn how to stop blood with your muscle control.
Don't give it too much to give Rebecca Yarros ideas.
Oh my God. All right. Oh yeah. Now they're in Poromiel, and I was
Wait,
like, "Oop, this is awkward."
So that what chapter are we in? Well, what
41.
chapter?
I skipped 40. Actually, I
41.
don't. Really
Oh wait.
remember half the
Oh wait.
story.
I think wait. Are they Felix? No, she gets taught by
Yeah,
Felix.
she gets
first.
she gets the conduit too.
She got
Okay,
she gets.
I
I
didn't-
forgot. I skipped
Yeah,
that.
I skipped it. Yeah.
But
I mean, like,
also, it was so funny when Felix
hail the orb.
Felix was like, "Why the fuck are you so bad at using your signet?"
Yeah.
He was so
Well,
mad that
obviously,
she was
like,
so shit.
Because
They
she's the
never
most
did the
powerful.
actual any learning in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, "What do they teach you?" She's like, "Oh, he just keeps making me
Nothing.
shoot lightning bolts
He
as much
keeps.
as I can."
Yeah.
He's
He
like,
keeps making me
"What?"
pass out
Until
on the
I
mountain.
die.
Yeah.
like to my limit, and he was like, "What the fuck are these
Why?
teachers
It's like,
doing?"
what's
Like
wrong
he
with this boy?
genuinely was just so dumbfounded that the teachers didn't know how to teach properly.
Dang.
Okay,
Everyone's
but
shitting on
also-
Basket right now.
I feel like the thing is also when he was like, "Why can't you aim?" and Violet was like, "What? Why would I do that?
Yeah, why would I
We
ever
always
need to
just do
aim?"
quantity?" Like she's never thought of the fact that they could practice precision, and then she's like looking around at like all of how like fucked up her shit is, and she says like, "I'm a natural disaster, and I'm done letting everyone around me suffer because I can't get my shit together." And I put a note that said, "Oh wow, finally, after what, 800 pages?
Oh God.
Now Violet wants to get some shit together? Okay."
It's
Yeah,
it's
I thought
because
she was
she
the
was.
most clever, and she's never thought of trying to learn how to aim just because her
Oh,
teacher said don't do it.
that's what and they keep mentioning how clever and intelligent and smart she is, but like 80% of the stuff she does or talks about, I'm like, are you sure?
That's what I said at the end of the
It's
last
show
book
don't
too.
tell, Yaros.
When
Yeah.
She's
Zayden
not
was like,
really.
yeah, when Zayden's like, oh, I fell in love with her because she's so intelligent and smart, and it's like Violet tripping
Like,
over her own shoes and like she dislocated her shoulder.
At
Like,
work,
what?
whenever I have a
What
brain
is he
fart now,
thinking?
I message my coworker saying I'm pulling a Violet. Like that's how
Violet.
stupid I feel. Like she
Oh my
feels like to
god.
me.
Oh my god. No, I think there's a lot of telling, not enough showing, but yeah, Violet is
Yeah.
still my least favorite character as of actually the end of the book. But
Dang.
As of-
I agree.
yeah.
I do not like her as a main character. I think there's a lot to be
desired.
Yeah.
desired.
And she doesn't have to be perfect either. It's just that like I feel like
Yeah,
the
it's
way
just like if you're
she's
gonna tell me she's
being
clever,
yeah.
can't
It-
make her say stupid shit.
Yeah,
like
it's like at odds with what the author wants us to think about her versus like Violet's actual actions. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Also,
yeah.
I mean, side note, but this grated my ears, maybe my grinded my teeth a lot, was the amount of times she says fucking. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I think
way
it's just
too
the
much.
lack
The
of
tone.
yeah.
The tone is not good in this book. But like,
no,
yeah.
not at all. I'm like,
wait, what do you mean? Like
She says
I
the
said
word like fuck too
empathet
much. The F word.
like an
ah
like this fucking great like kid or this fucking trail or I'm fucking mad and I'm like,
ah
are there no other words that you could use to emphasize an
oh man,
emotion?
I
Makes
never
it
even
pretty
noticed she says it so much because I probably just like kind of like edit it in my head so that it doesn't matter.
It's just like the tone, I feel like, of the way people speak is like off for the tone of the world.
Yeah, it's
Like
too
I
it's way
contemporary.
too like, yeah, it feels like she's trying to make it like how kids these days speak, but like in this fantasy world where the tone is completely different, it just like feels like off to me. It like makes it feel like kind of cringy.
Yeah, like I don't expect her to create a whole new language for her world.
They just start speeding Dothraki.
Yeah, you know, like I don't expect that. But like, you know, like how many let's assume that these guys live in I don't know, definitely not modern times. They don't have cars. But you know, people didn't used to speak like this back in the day.
I think they had other
Mm.
more funny swears, not just like the F
Yeah.
bomb. And she does swear. She's
Yeah,
like, oh, like she curses like the gods' names, which is cool. Like that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, yeah, because it's like saying like
Yeah.
God damn it, except for you
Gods
use
damn it.
fake
But
like fantasy
Dune
god.
or like
Yeah.
what's the name of the god one like the death one?
Malik.
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 Malik will not take me or something like that. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Like that's part of the world. But like
yeah.
the
But I
rest
will
is
say,
just
the tone of the way they talk sometimes doesn't feel right for the world. But it is what it is. It's
It is what
Yarros
it
being
is.
Yarros.
It makes the
is what
book
it is.
faster to read. Let's just give
But
it that.
also, when they're there, we learn Catriona is the niece of this king with the luminary, and Zeta's been there a lot
Yeah.
because he knows
Yeah.
everything about the palace.
Yeah. And then Violet and
But
Zayden
also
are like fighting. I was like, girlies,
in that same
stop.
chapter, and
Not in front of
she
Mira and
says
Cat.
Zayden's being a real Dane with his overprotectiveness is what I
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I read that I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
quoted that. She's
That
like,
I-
do you know who you sound like right now? And Zayden says, please
Dane.
enlighten me. Dane closes the door. I was like,
I will say
Okay,
Zayden probably felt that too. He was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
That's
that
a
was
sting.
a mic drop.
Mhm. Yeah, in that section, I like wrote this whole note about like I was like, oh, boring. Like I'm tired of their relationship. They like keep having this thing tight or whatever. Like I don't have any stake in it. At the end of that, but that's a sick burn though.
it really was.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, when I read that, I went, oh,
Yeah.
like I was there.
Yeah.
I said Mira is a fellow pockets and gowns enjoyer. Let's go.
Oh yeah,
When they're getting
I like
changed.
that they put that in. I was like, oh damn, I'll get it. I'll get it.
And then the Mira and Serena banter was funny because they're like the two older
Mm.
sister types.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like Serena. I hope we see more of her in the next book too. I like the Griffins. I wish we got to see a little bit more this time, but maybe in the next one now that they're actually together, like fully, we'll get to see more of them. But
Yeah,
then,
and then I said, these motherfuckers need to control themselves. Goddamn. I think Violet and Zayden
Wait,
started making out
Yeah.
when they all entered.
oh
I'm
yeah.
like, hello.
At this point, I'm just like double speed reading through any romance scene because I think it's just superfluous at this
Mhm.
point and doesn't add to the plot in any way. The
No.
only part that ever added to the plot was wait, did we already get to this part? No, we didn't yet. I'll save it. But
Okay,
you guys
okay.
know what I'm talking about. We
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
it
Yeah.
yesterday or Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, where'd you guys go Saturday? You went out somewhere else after barbecue?
We karaoke'd at Miss Kim's.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It
Because
was
we were
actually
gonna
a
go.
lot of. Oh,
Mhm.
Oh, we were gonna go to Duet, but they were full until 12:30.
yeah.
Oh,
But I was
rip.
like, I texted
Dang.
the manager at Miss Kim's, and
You're
he
like,
got
you
me
got
a
a room?
reservation.
Oh, how expensive was it though?
I have to look at it, so I just swiped my card
Dang.
inside.
Nice. I was in Jersey. That sounds fun though. Alright, anyway. Oh yeah, I said I was not expecting a venom to pop out of that chest.
Oh yeah,
That was a surprise.
I wrote, "Damn,
I
Futa
didn't-
captured
yeah.
a venom for Violet to strike."
Yeah. But
Yeah,
didn't
like how'd they
Futa
get that in
mention
there?
that they have multiple venoms too? Like it wasn't just this one.
Did they? I don't remember that.
Unclear.
Yeah, in one of the like
Did they say they have multiple, or
excerpts.
did they say
This is
they can capture more? I don't
This
remember
is
if
not the
it.
first one. They have maybe just one at a
Yeah.
time, but they've done this multiple
Yeah,
times
no, they've
before.
definitely done it before. I know they mentioned that, but I don't know if they carry multiple all the time.
Because they only have one
No,
chest.
it's in one of the excerpts at the beginning of the chapters. It's like somebody's research about like how they're like, oh, you have like the Asim and like all of the types, but
All
we've
types
never
of venom,
caught
yeah.
like a sage
Yeah.
or whatever.
They probably
is it?
interrogate the venom and
yeah.
then like kill them once they're done like interrogating them. But yeah, and then when they're fighting, I'm like, I'm sorry,
And
is
then
everyone
Mira
just
came-
watching this show of the Sorengal siblings trying to kill them? Like this is some
Yes.
Hunger Games shit.
I mean,
That's what I said.
clearly their king is deranged if he thought this was a good idea. So I wouldn't be surprised if the rest of those people were just kind of watching.
Yeah. I didn't
Uh,
have any
but
other
Through
thoughts.
struggles, Mira gets a little power boost, level up,
Oh yeah,
and
that
is
was fun.
finally able to generate a ward from herself.
Oh, it's
But
because
it
she
did
was
almost
under
kill. But it did
yeah.
almost kill her.
And then
Emotional
and then
stress.
fainted.
To be fair, it's her
Yeah.
first time being able to even do it, so understandable. But it's in line with like many superhero tropes. During your hour of need is when you get a level boost.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Got her
that was
Sharingan.
cool.
Yeah, she unlocked her Mangenkyo, and then
Through
ready to
neat love.
through love, like Sarada.
Good
All
for
right, and then they agreed to take in the Paromial cadets flyers
The
To-
Flyers.
to
Mhm.
Eurasia, and yeah, that's
We
when
want a happy family.
Marin's talked about how it's weird for killing cadets on the first day at basket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that instead of threshing, it's called the harvest. The
Yeah.
harvesting.
Oh yeah, they call it that. Yeah.
I like that there is different names between like their groups because
Mhm.
it adds a little niceness tidbits.
It sounds
to
less
the,
harsh.
To the Griffin.
Yeah.
It makes it more real, I think, than just calling everything the same between two very different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Marin finally fucking points out
Yeah.
how stupid it is how they just kill people,
Yeah,
basically.
I was like,
for no
finally.
good reason.
But honestly, just because I was thinking about this. Just because there's like an in-universe, like, haha, like they do this stupid thing. It just makes me mad, like more angrier.
But,
It was
I think it's supposed
Uh,
to contrast their two cultures, though. To me, it makes sense.
yeah,
It's like, oh, like
and also,
Navarre is all
like,
self-serving. They don't give a shit about
knowing
other
how
people.
self-serving Malgrin, who is essentially the leader of the country, even though there is a king, he basically is leading the country, that they would have stupid shit like this. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. And they let like the guy torture Varish, like basically kill people all the time in
Yeah,
interrogations. So
Mhm.
And their dumbasses revived Barlow. So I'm not surprised that
well, okay,
they let
I
people
have
die.
questions, but I will save them for later when we talk about him more.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
anyway, they're still hiking up a cliff, and then there was a funny dialogue that I wrote when Dane stuck that short sword into the cliff, and Violet says it's 8 inches, but Dane's like, it's actually 7. And then Marin says,
7,
imagine
yeah.
a man actually shortening a girl's estimate. And I was
Yeah.
laughing.
that was a funny.
That was
That was a
really-
funny
It
laugh.
would be Dane. Fucking Dane. Oh my god.
Yeah, but at least you know
Well,
Dane.
actually,
Dane ain't ever lying about his size. Yeah, now you know Dane ain't ever lying about his size.
Oh my god.
He never mind what I was gonna say.
All right,
All right.
This is
45.
Twitch. I gotta keep it PG-13.
I ship Jasenia and Sawyer. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Oh
that's-
yeah.
But
Jasenia and Sawyer?
when Reduc gets like shot with the arrows, I was
Mhm.
like,
Oh my
if
god, I
arrows
was
Yeah.
kills
so
him,
mad.
then I'm gonna burn this book.
I literally said
I
if
was
they
like, if he
fucking let
dies, I'm
Riddick
quitting.
die, I'm fighting Yarros.
hmm No, they all gonna make
I was
it.
like-
She promised that.
I will go to war.
Because you can't kill the two, like, there was like two very likable characters, and she already killed one. You can't kill the other one.
Yeah. But yeah, Sawyer's cute. He's like, "Can you teach me how to sign,
Yeah.
Violet?"
We have to sign. He's all
All right, and then the weaving runes. I said the rune
Oh,
sounds like programming a
finally, the
function
tierish knots actually
Yeah,
work for it.
into a physical arts and crafts project.
Yeah.
See, I knew it. I called it in the last book club. I was like, they're probably gonna say like something is gonna come in clutch because Violet knows how to like
Yes.
weave a rune or some shit.
Yeah. Because I remember, we talked about it last time. We're like, there's no way he did this just so
For
that she
fun.
could tie
Yeah.
knots.
Yeah,
For
Zayden
no fucking
doesn't give a
reason.
shit about arts and crafts.
Yeah, he's too cool to give a shit about arts and crafts. There has to be a hidden Mr. Miyagi-der, real quick.
All right, and then I had questions. So this is where they reveal how the marked ones became marked, and it's when Colonel Myrie, the Liam and Sloane's mother, made the protection room for the children, which activated and gave them this like mark. So I
Yeah.
wrote like, did no one else ask to figure why the rebellion children were marked in the first place? Like I was wondering, like, I mean, I guess they knew, right? Because it activated in front of them.
People probably just assumed Melgren did it, who weren't part of it, and
Oh,
Melgren just
okay.
thought it would be like she doesn't want people to know, or he doesn't want people to know that it protects them from him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
Everyone does
it's
know
like
that, though.
it's better to lie and say that he did it than for
Yeah, 'cause
people to know that it's his weakness.
I don't remember in the first book.
Not everybody knows that it's his weakness already.
Oh wait.
That's why three
Yeah.
or more
Yeah.
three or
You're
more
right.
of them can't be together at one time.
I don't remember in Fourth
Oh,
Wing
yeah,
though
you're
how
right.
they mentioned why they were marked. Though they're just like, yeah, and the marked ones who are the children of the rebellion leaders. I just assumed like, oh,
I
maybe
don't
they got
think
like
that-
tattoos, they got branded or
Oh
something.
yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right. They did mention
I don't
that.
think they did. They just I think they talk about how it just sort of manifested like via magic. I think it
Okay,
was
believable.
not really like explained.
Yeah, but at least we got an
what it
explanation now. Why?
does.
So that was good. I like that.
Yeah.
But it is cool that it was like because Liam's mom like specifically made that spell to like it'll counter the signet of whatever dragon kills her. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
All right, and then
That's been a
what
very
else was there?
complicated rune.
Yeah, I didn't have anything for 46, so I don't really remember what happened there.
Oh, with the rune stuff though, I was bothered again about how dumb everyone in this book is. Because they're like, how does a mage light work? And they're like, magic. And she's like, how does it work when someone's not actually putting magic on it? And they're all like, I don't know.
It
And the
senses
teacher's like,
magic.
oh, it's runes.
Gee,
And
wait,
Violet's
wait.
like, no, actually, you can't do that. You can only channel magic.
Yeah,
Everybody is dumb as
I
fuck.
will say I kind of get it because a lot of people in real life, if you ask them how does a light bulb work,
Yeah, they don't know.
Electricity.
Yeah, you don't think about that stuff.
Yeah,
But
so
a light bulb is
in the context of the world, I think it makes sense because a mage light is essentially a light bulb.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You just
okay,
don't
but
think about it.
when someone is standing in front of you explaining to you how electricity works, and you're supposed to be the most cleverest girl in all the continent,
Violet,
you go,
I don't get. No, what I'm
"Actually,
saying,
I think it's
what I'm saying
magic."
is Violet, I completely don't get. I'm saying everyone else being like magic, that is accurate. I think
Mhm.
Violet
Yeah,
has no excuse. Violet has no
But,
excuse.
the
I'm just gonna
teacher is,
answer
like,
magic.
explaining what it is, and they're all like, actually, no, you can't do that. I'm like, okay, well, clearly you've just learned that there's a lot of shit you don't know about the
also,
world. Like,
especially
open your
someone
mind a
who is
little bit.
truly intelligent and clever doesn't just go, "That's not right." Like they would
Like,
be like,
no, I don't believe
explain
you.
why, like, and yeah, like
Have a thought.
no one actually smart would just outright say that's stupid. No,
Think before you speak, people.
but
But anyway, that made me
also,
mad.
we get the Violet and Catriona Throwdown. And I like that both, for once, Adarna and Tarn were on the same side. And Adarna said, wait, actually, did I skip? Fuck. Did I
Yeah, I
skip?
think you skipped to chapter
Oh my god, I keep scrolling by accident.
47.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Wait,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no,
It's
no, no,
fine.
no. Yeah,
Where?
but that's where we are. The
We're on
rooms.
like 45,
teaching.
46.
Yeah. Well,
I
anyway,
You're
didn't
right.
write-
nothing
yeah.
really.
46 is when the
It
fight's
doesn't
about to
matter.
start.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't write anything
Oh,
for
yeah,
46,
okay,
so I
Yeah.
don't know.
And then Adarna was like, go. Adarna said, go for the eyes. And Tarn said, go for the kneecaps. No, actually, Tarn specifically said, no, that's stupid. Go for the kneecaps.
Go
Yeah.
for the kneecaps. Yeah.
For once, they're on the
They're
same
agreeing.
side, and they hate this bitch.
Yeah, yeah, that's where we learned what Cat's like true intentions were, I guess, all along.
Mm.
It wasn't for love, it's for the title. But yeah. But
And
it's
she
alright.
was mad because she
yeah.
couldn't be queen. What
Yeah.
a
I mean, in the end, I don't
doofus.
mind Cat. She's like okay. She seems a little bitchy still, but like at least she's not like killing Violet at every second. So she's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing will bring you together more than almost dying together.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's true.
Okay.
Okay, but in this chapter again, there's that thing which we've talked about. I brought up earlier in the book, but like now apparently everybody knows the secret about Feathertails, because Sawyer says, "Still can't believe Feathertails are kids," and I'm like, when did we just decide to tell everyone this big dragon secret?
I'm assuming they had
you
some like
know,
thingy in the class.
Oh
They
wait, no.
revealed it.
Yeah, but off screen, I thought that was going to be like a serious plot point, like
Yeah,
keeping
that's-
that hidden,
it's
and
supposed
then
to
it's
be,
just
like, a
now
huge
it's just
thing.
everybody knows it.
I
yeah,
honestly
Terrence
did not
said,
even
like,
realize
don't tell
that.
anybody.
I still did not realize that. I guess it's
Yeah,
not
I
that
forgot
important.
about that. I'm gonna be honest.
I guess Yarros is like, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's just tell everyone.
I think she
I was like,
forgot too, to be honest.
When they introduced Andarna, it was such a big deal because she was like, "Oh no, she's just a golden dragon.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Feathertails are just useless."
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody knows that we didn't even like on the page have a discussion about like people finding out or like it being okay to tell everyone. I'm like, that's a dragon secret.
I know.
That's not even.
Don't
like,
worry, the
their
TV
shit.
show will
but maybe
fill
it
in
was
the
one of those
exposition.
things where the dragons told they all agreed, but still stupid that they did it
Yeah,
off
but
screen.
off page
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like not acknowledged at all.
No one likes an off-screen important note. Like
There's so
Mhm.
many off-screen important notes in this in the series.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I wouldn't have mind if this book was split up into two, and they like, I don't know where the cliffhanger
Could
of
go
the
into
book
stuff
would end.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, then she has more.
But blame her. I guess
words.
blame her publisher or whatever
Ugh.
for forcing
Yeah.
her to do it into one.
Don't worry, I'm
Did-
sure someone
did-
who has a fix that will fix all this.
Yeah, 'cause she wrote. When she was originally writing
Mhm.
Iron Flame, she wanted it to be 2 books, but I think they wanted her to condense it so that into just one. I think maybe to make it a trilogy or something. I don't know.
There's 5 books, I think.
Oh, never mind. I don't know why they asked her to
No,
condense
yeah, I
it.
thought we already knew it was gonna be 4 or
Fine.
5 books.
I don't know why they asked her to condense it then. That's only the
Maybe it was
publisher
too
knows.
slow. Like I understand because the beginning of this before part 2 is
Oh my
extremely
God, yes.
slow. So if the
Part
whole book
1
was like that, I would not be able to do
so
it.
slow.
Yeah.
I feel like part 1 was majority like go to class, argue with Zayden, go to class, argue
Argue
with
with
Zayden.
Zayden.
Have the
One little
same
adventure,
argument with
go to
Zayden all the
class,
time.
go to argue with Zayden.
Dislocate my shoulder, get it mended, go to
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
And
That's
before I
it.
go to sleep, get mad at Zayden again.
Yeah.
The thing is that I'm okay with slow. Like I don't need action all the time in a book, but I don't need the non-action parts to be so repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you can have non-action but still be very interesting if it's like character development, things like that. But I feel like there was no development. It was just the same
No.
argument repeatedly.
And it
Yeah,
didn't
it
seem
is.
like she was learning anything in class either. It's just like, yep, and then we
Yeah,
learned
like-
about Battle Brief, which was a lie, and I'm like suspicious, and that's it. And I went to
Which is a
class.
lie.
Like it's cool
Yeah.
when you get to see the regular parts of someone's life, but you could still make it interesting, not just
Yeah.
actually boring
Or,
like
like-
real life.
Or like for example, like I really like a like training arc in anime that's
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
like go to
Yeah.
school and like learn stuff. Like that's really fun and
Yeah.
interesting to me, but that isn't what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like you could do so much with, especially with the fact that it's a war school. that there's so much interesting stuff they could be learning, but she never does anything with it.
Yeah.
Like they mention
Yeah.
them cooling learn shit, but then they don't show it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like the entire like premise of it being taking place at a school is like pretty much irrelevant.
Was Harry
Yep.
Potter? I never read all the Harry Potter books because I kind of got bored. Was the school aspect of Harry Potter like? Did they show them learning cool stuff in the actual magic classes?
It
Yeah.
was a lot more important in the earlier books
Yeah.
because then from book
There was
like what 5 on it became
It's
about
like the
war,
war.
really.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. But in the
yeah,
beginning books, yeah, they like, oh, he has to like learn how to do the polyjuice potion and like do all this
yeah.
stuff.
So
There's
like
like
yeah,
things
like
of him learning Patronus and like stuff like
there's
that.
so many examples of books and shows where you're in school but still make it interesting that I'm like, she could have just pulled from any of
Yeah.
those.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I
But
really like
but
books in an
instead she just
academic
wanted to
setting like that.
focus on the same dumb argument on that Zayden and Violet had had since
Yep.
like the fourth
Yeah.
wing.
I was getting more pissed at her argument than she was. I feel like I'm like, girl, are you not tired of arguing
Yeah.
with the same thing for like the 15th time? Ugh. Anyway. Yeah.
But next chapter,
Oof.
it's
Things got a little
the
spicy.
only romance scene in this entire series so far that I was like, okay, this
was
is a romance
worthwhile.
scene that is
Yeah.
worthwhile and actually does
That had
something for the
plot.
plot.
Plot relevant spicy scene.
We only like porn with a plot.
Yeah. Exactly.
But like yeah, like when he sits her
Yeah.
down on the throat and he's like,
And
I
he's
only
like, where are
eat
you sitting right now?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yo, he's got
And
a
then
throne kink.
and then and then he's like, I never ate cat out. I only eat you out. I'm like, damn.
Oh my
Damn.
god.
He said I have very particular tastes.
Dang. He is what he eats.
Yeah, so that was good. That was the only
Yeah.
sex scene that I
49
cared about.
50.
Yeah.
I didn't have any notes, so I don't remember what that was about.
49 it's in 49 was like when they start getting
Well, they
the
do the
drifts.
challenge.
The drifts get absorbed into the what are they called? Wings?
Yeah.
Squads.
Squads.
And
Yeah.
the squads, and then of course, Cat gets put into Violet squad.
Yeah.
Classic.
And you know, one good note: Dane and Violet are finally on speaking terms again.
Yep.
About time.
Good for him.
Oh, and then there was one funny thing Dan said that when Zayden's declaration of love when he was rescuing Violet made him fall in love with Zayden too.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was hilarious.
That was pretty
It's like,
funny.
aw. Dane's such a bro.
See, this is where eventually Zayden gets tired of Violet's bullshit and then he dates Dane instead.
I'm sure there's a fic of that already.
yeah. Where's
There
the...
has to be.
See, now that could be an actual good enemies, real
lovers.
enemies to lovers.
Right? That would be a good. That actually is enemies to lovers.
Yeah. Except for like Zayden's second signet kind of would annul any like enemies to lovers conflict, really. Because like the whole point is like
true.
misreading intentions and stuff. But
That's true.
you know, we can find a way around that. Like maybe Dane
and
can
also
block
Dane could read his memory to
Yeah, they're both intrinsics.
see everything. No, he's
Intrinsic-ish.
not intrinsic Dane.
Well,
Dane's a
okay.
memory
Be able to
reader.
Just like
touch
brain
you.
stuff.
Intrinsic
Brain
is
stuff.
specifically reading
Mental
the
stuff.
mind. But like it could be full thoughts or intentions or something like that. Dane, I think, technically Imogen also has a classified signet, which we learned last time too, which
What
is
was her
erasing
signet?
memories.
Oh yeah, she can. Yeah, when they
Yeah.
knocked out the guards. I really like Quinn's though. The astral
I will
projection
say,
one. That sounds very.
Imogen doesn't
useful.
feel like
Yeah.
someone who would erase memories to me. Like it doesn't fit with what I.
We don't know
understand of
her
character.
backstory and her needs.
But that's true. We only know her from pretty much hating Violet and then eventually like liking Violet
And having pink hair. I think she has pink hair.
and
right?
having pink hair.
Yeah.
You're right, maybe because I guess we don't know her full personality yet. So
Yeah. Or her like her backstory.
like
Yeah.
I want to hear more about these like the side characters to understand why, especially because they make a big point of like these are their signets. Like, why is Riddick ice if that's the case? If it's like a representation of you, like
I don't know. Maybe he's got some inner
It
turmoil.
because only in the main characters does it really make sense to me if that is the how signets work.
I think it's a
Yeah.
problem with the first person
Yeah.
that she
Yeah.
has going on. Like
Oh, like yeah.
you only get to see Xaden and Violet, and then
That's
everybody
true,
else is
yeah.
just like I even have trouble
But I
keeping
mean,
track of all
you don't
names.
have to show
Yep.
it within like like literally show it like explain it, but like you could make it like accurate to how they act in the book or like things
Uh,
they do. I mean,
I
it's
think it has to
very
be first
hard.
person. Yeah.
But it's very hard for sure. But I feel like she could have done a better job about it for it to make sense to me
I feel
at
like only
least.
you can do it with third person. Because first
Maybe.
person you only get to interact with the character if your first person character's interacting with them.
That's
Mhm.
true. And then also, clearly Violet is an unreliable person, so like her
Yeah.
understanding of
Yeah.
and descriptions of people might not be the best either.
Mhm.
All right, 51. They mentioned Iron Flame for the first time. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, that was when they were translating.
Breath of life
Finally.
and in iron flame.
Yes. And then the next chapter, I forget what it was, but Garrett had a funny line again because Violet and Zayden were beefing again. So he said something. He's like, "I'm just doing my part to help your communication skills thrive in a stable relationship." That was like exactly his quote. And I'm like, "Damn, bro, he's tired of their bullshit too." 53. This is when they are doing the challenge, I think, to get the lure boxes or the rune boxes.
Yeah, they're
And
doing
then
the little
Solus
challenges. They
sneaks
wind
up
up in
on
a
him.
cave, and
Yeah.
Solus is just there.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
we
What the?
we
How did he show up?
unfortunately lost
Why
one
is he there?
cadet.
Yeah.
May they rest in
Tarn
peace.
does know. Tarn explains that dragons have
What?
tunnels that lead all over the continent.
Yeah,
like
but like,
moles.
why
So
did
why?
he come here?
I mean,
To kill
Solus
Violet.
probably
Yeah.
well one because Solus was Varish's dragon, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solus felt Varish die probably, and so now he's probably been while evading Tarn tracking them. So that
Yeah,
way,
that's what I
like,
assumed.
it's still kind of weird, but I can once again, it's one of those things where I've pieced it together in my mind for it to make sense.
Yeah, no, I just thought it's
It's
because
not
Solus is
the
trying to get back at Violet killing Varys.
Yeah, I feel like the thing is that like to me, it's not that like his motivations don't make sense. Like, sure, like you want to kill whatever the rider that killed your rider, and he's
Yeah.
like just violent generally. But like he just shows up for this chapter, and they fight him, and then we never have to speak about it ever again. Like it's just such an isolated incident that doesn't have anything. Like it's not like, oh, someone sent him out and is like using this for a purpose. It like has nothing to do with anything else, and then we just don't ever talk about
I think
it
it was
again.
just to tie up his loose
I
end
agree,
because
but
once Varys died, like, oh shit, like his dragon's gonna be out for
yeah,
blood. And then also, and Darnell, I guess,
guess.
didn't power up, but like is now a
yeah,
dragon
because
slayer.
if Solus
Yeah.
never,
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
she
funny.
could have probably put in the narrative of Solus's attempt at vengeance better, but I think it still kind of makes sense. It just it is a little anticlimactic of an end for Solus. If anything, it just.
Yeah.
But I think she just used that to push Andarna's like growth into a
Mhm.
real dragon a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and
clearly.
we had to get Cat and Violet to make up, so that's why they're cool now because they almost
Yeah, I
died.
think even though it's like it was kind of anticlimactic for Solus's whole little story, I guess it was used to push Cat and Violet, and then Andarna. Could have been better, but
Yeah. Well, and I was also pissed that Vizio was saved during the cliffs when they were hiking up the cliffs, only to be like killed in this scene. I was
Yeah.
like, damn it. All right.
oh yeah. Oh man, but like getting hit by that tail and just snapping your neck or whatever,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
like
I
that
wrote
honestly,
in
that was probably one of like the more like
Violent.
gruesome deaths
Yeah.
I've like violent deaths we've seen in the
Yeah.
book.
Also, because like they
pretty
just saw her
hardcore.
dead body there. You know, like she's just like
Yeah.
dead.
It did make me believe that dragons are really dangerous again.
You
Because like
did not
sometimes I
believe that
forget
before?
because they don't
Yeah.
feel dangerous to me a lot of the
They're
times.
like, oh, they're just
I mean,
little kitty
because
cats.
they're mostly interacting with like the people they like, so they're not going to
There
just kill
people.
them.
Yeah.
But like this made me remember, I was like, oh yeah, dragons can just kill you very easily, and no
Yeah.
wonder soldiers are terrified of them.
Yeah. Oh, I also wrote in this section when they like Cat and Violet like kind of make up. She's like, "Oh, I hate that you're so this badass," and she says powerful or whatever. I wrote Violet and Kat have a better enemies to lovers dynamic than Violet and
That's
Zayden ever
hilarious.
did.
All right,
That's
that's
what I'm
another
Actually,
telling you.
that would be a
Another
better
Zayn is
book.
Zayden.
Cat, see,
Cat
Cat,
and
Dane and
Violet.
Zayden,
and Kat.
Violet and Cat. Guys, let's get this fan fiction going.
Oh my god, it's like a
They
love
last.
triangle, but then it turns out to be like a I don't know, like a same-sex relationship
two-
type thing.
Love parallel lines.
Yeah.
Parallel line.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that she has the framework for some good enemies to lovers.
Yeah,
It's just
true.
the wrong
like would
characters.
actually have a good dynamic.
Maybe unintentional, but it's there. But also, we learn Sloane finally unlocks her signet during this whole debacle with Solus.
Oh
and she's
yeah,
a siphon
fun.
too.
Yeah. Wait, who else was a
That's a
siphon?
cool one.
Which is what
Brennan's lover.
Lover.
Ex-lover.
Dead
don't-
lover.
I don't remember his name. I just remember him as
Nowlin.
Brennan's boyfriend in my
This is
head.
Nowlin?
Yeah, something with an
No,
N.
Nowlin,
no.
yeah. Nowlin.
I always get him
Now
and Nolan
I know.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder
Brennan's
if
dead.
we're ever gonna get to hear about him again, because it wasn't not like we didn't get him again within this book. I'm like, is
Yeah.
she ever gonna explain what happened there, or is that just
Yeah, how Brennan faked his
I-
death.
being
I-
strung along?
I am hoping we do, because now, especially now that, because I guess for an entire half of the book, she wasn't with Brennan, so I guess it kind of makes, she could have probably still put it somewhere in the second half. But I'm hoping
Yeah.
now that she has to be with like Brennan essentially all the time, that we'll get a little more interaction between them, and maybe we'll get a backstory. Yarros, please give me a backstory. I want
Yeah.
to
She,
hear
like,
about his
mentions
boyfriend.
one more thing towards the end of the book, where she's like talking to Taryn. He was like, "Oh, you like just like your previous writer." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot Nellen was Taryn's last like writer."
Oh, I forgot
And
that
I'm like,
too.
so are we going to talk about it? And then we didn't
Dang.
talk about it. I was like, okay, well, maybe in 2025 we'll see.
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, I think they gotta get more like Brennan development, especially because like after events in the forthcoming chapters, he like has some remorse for being too
Yeah.
like steadfast with like the revolution, like nah, we're staying in Horatio, that kind of stuff. Like I think
Yeah,
he'll
and-
be more open.
I feel like they will. I will save why I feel like that. But I feel like it just also would make sense. Given how the book ended, that I feel like, the Soaring Gale trio are gonna go on some adventures.
Aw,
So,
I hope
I'm
all
hoping.
the siblings make it. Knock on wood.
We'll see.
All right. After this, I didn't have notes for 54 and 55. I think this was just them discussing that if
the
once they
only
do
note
raise
I
the
have-
wards, the magic will be
Well,
gone for the
54 is Sloane
Peromians.
has a siphon, and then 55, they had the same argument again for the 10 times.
Oh god. Yeah, that's probably why I didn't write any notes. I'm like, yeah, I don't need anything. Okay, but
but
56 is where we
They fixed the
I don't know.
wards. The wards are back, baby.
kind of
No.
I know, yeah. It was like they fixed. I wrote that as the first and my last note in the chapter. No, wards are wonky.
fuck.
no, yeah. Okay, yeah, and then we get to know Zayden's second signet, and then when he's like fishing
Tin
for
signet
Violet
reading.
to guess, and then she like realizes, I was like, this is just like that Twilight scene where he's like, say it out loud, and then like trying to get Violet to say what he was. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? What the heck?
I'm a killer, Violet.
Yeah, this is the skin of a killer, Bella.
And then I will say, when she finally says it, I was like, "You're getting mad about it. You're getting mad about this too." I started getting so like feeling
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I was like,
that-
"Why did this
yeah.
stem another argument?"
Yep.
Because it's
But,
like this is
This is
like
the only
this
thing
is
she knows how to
a
write.
really serious secret that he can't
Yeah, like first I
tell
get that.
anyone about.
I get
Exit
that.
immediately.
Like people can be emotional, not be rational, but she's been doing it so much, just like this another level of irrationality. I was like, I can't believe this is a clever person. You can't tell me she's smart.
Violet is not smart.
And there was some other line in the book also that like I wrote a note at, but Zayden like is talking about her and he's like, you're a creature of logic and like this thing shook up your world or whatever. I was like, she's literally not. She's the the most like irrational, emotional person in this whole book. I don't
Yeah,
understand
because
where
like
this is
I
coming from.
get like you can still be irrational even if you are generally, smart, clever, and all that. But she just does it so like if this was the one time she got irrational, or like maybe the second time, I'm like, okay, I get it, emotions, all that. But because it's a whole book of her being irrational, it's unbelievable to me that
Yeah.
she's actually supposed to be this creature of logic.
Mm-hmm.
And it like takes away the like I don't know, the like emphasis that could have of like, oh, this is
Yeah.
so huge and wrecks her so much that like she goes beyond like how she normally is and like can't handle it. But there's none like it doesn't feel that impactful because it's just like, oh,
Yeah,
it's Violet
all
doing
we've
this shit all the
known
time.
is Violet being
Yeah.
irrational.
I
That's
feel
basically
like
it.
Yarros makes a lot of moments that should be more impactful, less impactful because she keeps doing it repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, repetition is an ongoing issue, but
Hey, you never know.
um,
What if Onyx Storm finna be the fire though, right?
well, she
Yeah.
finally gets an editor, maybe.
Maybe.
Oof.
She had two very successful books. Maybe they can afford an editor now.
Shit. Well, and then in the acknowledgements it says like her editor. I'd like to thank my editor. Blah blah blah. I'm like, this girl
Yeah.
didn't edit nothing. What do you mean?
Dude,
Bro, what
yeah,
that
what were
editor
you
that
thinking?
that editor just ran it through ChatGPT and said it's fine.
Oh my god.
That editor clocked in and then went home and did whatever and then clocked out. Said 5 p.m. Okay, that was my 8 hours.
It's like,
Oh
oh
my
yeah,
And
just
God.
publish it.
it's just so upsetting because there's so much good like foundation that is possible to have such interesting stuff that an editor would help like guide.
Mhm.
And I'm like, it's just so
But I
frustrating because I know this could be so good because the world is so cool.
I
The
think the problem
characters
is
are
that
pretty cool.
fundamentally you have to change the genre if you want it to be good.
But
That's
see
what I'm saying. No,
that's
but
the
the thing is though,
problem.
I'm a vibes reader, so I like the vibes enough that I'm willing to read
But
bad
I was
writing.
looking at Yaros's previous books. It's all contemporary, like romance,
Oh,
like normal
yeah.
world shit. So
Her
this is
background is not
yeah.
fantasy.
She
So
cannot.
that's why
This
that's
is
why like
yeah.
I
Explains
feel
that.
like it's like this is not the book to read for good fantasy
And that's why I'm also
world
giving her a
building.
pass. Kind of, it's like, all right, it's her first foray
Oh
into
no,
like
yeah.
a fantasy series. It's like okay, you know,
I
it's not
completely
terrible.
agree. Like, but honestly though, even then, I can't give her a pass on the shitty romance scene because that's
yeah,
what she
she.
does.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know
Like
how
she,
good her romance is in her actual books.
you're
and maybe
right.
she's
I've never
honestly
read
not a
any
good
of her other
romance
romance books, so
person
maybe
either.
they're. I will say, looking at the cover, those are airport romance books, and
Yeah.
so I can tell it's probably not good.
Dang, Lewis, strong words.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
okay,
like
the thing is,
is he wrong?
two things.
No,
am I
he's not.
wrong though?
No, you're
Yeah.
not. Well, yeah, going off of that. So when he reveals he's like a sort of intrinsic whatever, I was like the build up to him being like having the second signet was really rushed, and I said any hints were sprinkled far too like few in between, and they didn't have a lot of weight to them.
Yeah.
It's like, so for example, when he brought up like the
Yeah.
reason why I knew I could trust Zane is because I read his intention. I'm like, well, actually, in the moment, what I thought was that he just reasonably leveraged some risk and assumed that Dane was actually doing the right thing this time, which is why Zayden like didn't immediately kill him. So I thought Zayden was taking a
Yeah.
risk. I was like, oh, okay, Zayden's being kind of smart and like taking a risk for Violet that like shit he'll trust him, kind of
a
thing.
lot of the hints didn't feel like hints.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels more. This feels more like kind of like a retcon type thing of why he's able to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say, no, there were some very, very tiny hints. If you like read into it, like I was reading about it. Like, when did they hint that he was an intrinsic? Like, he makes comments, or like what was it? Like Violet would think something in her head, and then he would comment on it, but people just assumed it was because of their bond, even though technically
Yeah.
your bond doesn't
Or
allow
that
you
like
to
Violet is
read
just
minds.
very like plain and he can like read her face.
Yeah.
You know?
But the thing is that those hints are still too weak for me to reasonably say this was hinted.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Or it's like I feel like it maybe is the thing where you're getting throughout the book like so many like little pieces of random information. Like the thing where like, oh, we talked about Zayden's grandfather one time, and then we like have talked about like this thing that was hinted at for like related to something else sometime, that like there's so many of those small things happening that none of them have like any more weight than another.
Yeah,
So
it's almost
when
like a
something is
throwaway line
revealed,
each
you're like,
time.
or like when something is revealed, you're like, oh, maybe there was stuff about that like so long ago, but I don't know because there's so many of like those things going on that then
Yeah.
there's no impact.
I agree. Let's hope Onyx
Mhm.
Storm is better about it.
Well, how is it the same amount of time between the first two books that she's writing or finishing the second or
I
third book?
don't know what like the
Let me
time
see.
span because I think Iron Flame came out in what 23, 22?
No, it came out last year, 23.
23, I think.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and she put out Iron Flame like 6 months later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poor
so
Yeah,
this
because it
is
was in
thing.
like April and November or
dang.
something of
That's
like
either
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
really
April
rushed.
5th,
spring and
2023, and okay, no wonder this
So
book kind of feels a little.
I mean, yeah, either it's rushed or she already had enough material for two
No,
manuscripts,
actually,
and
what I'm
then
thinking
that's
probably
what happened.
happened is she already had the entirety of Fourth Wing and was probably already working on Iron Flame before Fourth Wing even came out.
Yeah,
yeah.
Onyx Storm's supposed to come out. All right, so it's gonna be like a year
January
in
25.
between.
So she
Yeah.
has a little more time. I don't know if that's gonna matter, but we'll see.
Let's see. Or we'll see if the editor
I
name changed at the end of her
I hope they
acknowledgments.
fired the editor she thanked, and then they got a better editor.
Dang.
I don't ever wish
um
for people to lose their jobs, but I don't know. Maybe this one
But maybe
you can get
don't edit
moved.
this particular
Maybe don't
series.
edit this book.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, we all got our specialties, and this is maybe just not a gift. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But the thing is, it's crazy to me when I read people say like this is like a masterpiece, and I'm like,
It's
what have you?
I
I was
You're
like,
like, well,
what have
actually.
you read that? Because
Yeah, did you-
like even me, someone who doesn't mind reading bad stuff, is not so delusional that like I would think this is a
Yeah.
masterpiece.
people that are like, "This was a 5-star read, best
Yeah,
book
if you
I
go
read
through
this year," I was like, "Okay, damn."
if you look at Goodreads, like the reviews, some of them are like, "Are you?" But then I think about it. My little sister's on Goodreads, you know. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading the
But also
cringe
like
reviews I
it could
gave
be these
books
people
from
either
2011.
haven't read much, and this actually like if you haven't really read anything and this is your first read, this might be actually a 5-star to you. So I'm not gonna. But also some people are so romantic pilled that like anything
Yeah.
romantic-y is like a 5-star to them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like porn with a plot is their favorite thing. But like.
But this one is not even that
But even
great.
then,
Yeah.
the plot and the porn is not even good.
Yep.
Nope. They need to
Agreed.
be more fan
Yeah.
fiction.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, like the plot is like this isn't a bathtub. Like that's like what the plot is like half the time with the porn scenes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she needs to interact with some more fanfic writers.
Yeah.
To
Or
She
they'll-
should let
learn
or just
fanfic
read-
writers
or
edit.
just
or read.
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
let
read
me
books.
beta.
I remember there was this
Honestly.
one author who specifically said what got him into write. He's like a pretty like decent author now. Like he was at like a panel. He's like, oh, what do you think about fan fiction writing? And he was like, oh, the reason why I started getting into writing is because I read fan fiction growing up, and I thought it was so good, so I started writing fan fiction, and then he became a real author.
Nice. The
So
fanfiction
it's like-
writer
the
to
fanfic
actual
real
author
yeah.
pipeline.
That's
Pipeline,
so
yeah.
real. That's so real. To be fair, it makes sense though. It's like a free way for you to write a story, and like it's easier than
And
coming
get
up with your
feedback.
own
And get free
idea.
comments.
Get feedback.
You get feedback,
live
you know,
feedback.
and also you have a
Community.
foundation to work off of when you write fanfic, so it's not completely a new IP and idea.
And also, I feel like
Yeah.
fanfic
So-
commenters
You-
are not like ruthless Twitter commenters. They actually give constructive
Yeah.
feedback because they want to read something
Yeah,
good.
they care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a built-in like audience. You don't have to start from the ground up.
Yeah,
So,
like
Mhm.
people are already sold on the foundation of what you're writing about, so it's easier to get people to want to
Yeah.
read it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like fanfiction. I think like there's a lot of fanfiction that are way better than like shit that you see published. It's just that
Oh yeah.
making the world building itself is what gets a lot of people into like writing their own novels because that's
Mhm.
actually pretty difficult to
Mhm.
make a consistent logical
Mhm.
world.
Oh yeah. I feel like world
but-
building is one of the hardest parts, I think, of making an actual good book.
Like there's a subreddit entirely dedicated to world building, and it's insane how people
Dang.
go and like
It's like and then also not just like because like coming up with the ideas for a world that are interesting is easy, but then making it logical and connecting and real, oh man, I can't even imagine. And when I was a kid, when I used to write my little short stories, it would just be like combining aspects from World of Warcraft and like mythology, and being like,
Yeah.
and then the Lich King had his Kopesh from Egyptian. That's like Just throwing everything I knew into this little short story.
That's so funny.
And I never got good feedback on it, so I stopped.
Aw. It's never too late to bring
Your
it back
dreams
now,
are
Lewis.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's never too late for you to start a rewrite of Fourth Wing and
Yes.
Iron Flame.
Fix
Write
it.
your own fix it fic.
Okay, guys,
Dane
this is my
Zayden
complete. This is
spin-off.
my complete original book, Fifth Wing.
You gotta change their
But-
names
It's
slightly.
about Zayden
Yeah.
with a Z.
Bane and Jaden.
Yo, so that's that's pretty much how 50 Shades started.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Instead
Oh
of
my God.
what's his face, Edward, it's the Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Alright,
where were
a
we?
few
I feel like we got
more,
sidetracked.
Yeah, where were
Alright.
we?
50. I think we're at
Tangent from
57.
shitting on this book.
56.
Let's get back to the
57. I
plot.
didn't have notes, but 58. I said.
Melgrin in 57. Melgrin met up with them to ask them to help with fighting
Okay. Yeah.
the venom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
wasn't
then they
that.
start
I was just like, yeah,
arguing.
and then they leave. And then my comment was that the little conduit orbs that everyone has with the wrist straps. I'm like, oh, it's like a little accessory. They should put like keychains on it or lanyards. It's like a little wristlet.
Cute.
Yeah, and then 59, I said, I'm gonna be real, I don't remember whose dragon Bait is. And then I looked it up, I'm like, it's fucking
yeah.
Jack's dragon.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
And
Was
then
the
oh
dragon
wait, but
named at
also
all?
and
Yeah,
Darna
it
called
was before.
Tarn a boomer.
A boomer, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dang, the realest words she's ever spoken.
But
This
yeah,
is
like
like
when
you're
Bait
a
came out and it
million
was
years old.
Barlow's dragon, I was like, why did anyone think bringing this bitch back alive was a good idea?
Okay,
Even
so
if
yeah,
they didn't know he was the venom or
yeah,
whatever.
I'm like raise my comment now. So was he actually brought back to life, or he just didn't die because he was already venom? That's
No,
what I think.
I think what happened probably is he was already venom, which like I think Barlow implied that he was already a venom at
Yeah,
the time.
he was.
So I think he didn't actually die, but he got like completely fucked up in his body.
So
Like,
they
but like
they-
he used
yeah.
like he probably sucked in like magic from the ground to keep him from dying, and then they were able to mend him after that.
But I don't think Nolan actually mended him because they revealed that Nolan's actually been trying to like stop him from being a venom, and that's why Nolan's worn out from like trying to
Mm.
counteract.
Yeah.
Or
like,
venom.
cure it.
while he was dying after being crushed, theoretically he could have sucked in magic to mend himself.
That's what I think. I think
and
Jack like
then-
revived himself,
Yeah.
and then like then once the school kind of figured out he was a venom, I guess like because they mentioned that Jack's eyes were like quote unquote always bloodshot. I'm like I don't really remember that, so I don't know if I would tell that Jack
Yeah.
had been a venom. But anyway,
they did mention that like a couple times. I know they mentioned it. Oh no, it had to him before because they mentioned his eyes were bloodshot. I think when he fought Violet on the challenges.
Let me see.
But that's
That's
another
interesting.
one of those
I think.
things
Yeah,
Let me
right?
where
go
she's
back.
telling us all these
But
small things all the time.
I
so
feel
nothing.
I
Yep.
might be misremembering, mind you. I'm just saying I think they said that.
I
I'm
like
gonna
when they
look
mentioned
for-
it, I'm like, okay, I think they mentioned it, but I can't specifically pinpoint when they mentioned he had bloodshot eyes. But also the quote where
But then they were like,
Mhm.
but then he's like, the venom have infiltrated for years now. I'm like, what?
yeah, like where, bitch,
I was
where?
like,
Check everyone for
'cause, like, I
bloodshot
feel like
eyes.
they
That's
could
like a
have,
tell.
like, they're, like, it felt like such an asshole to me because I'm like,
Yeah.
you could make like that's interesting, right? That they've infiltrated but they never gave real hints for that.
Yep.
So it feels like it's just out of nowhere. They're like, we have sleeper agents.
Yeah, and then so the quote that I read that I mentioned that I don't know who said it, but I said Jax turned venom. Somehow he managed it within the wards. I'm like, this is just like in Star Wars, the new one where they're like somehow,
Yes, somehow Palpatine has returned. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? What do you mean somehow he managed it? As in no one was smart enough to realize he was like being a little bitch and being a venom? Like, huh? That got me really angry.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it
This is now another one of those things I'm like, is she gonna explain this? Like, is it gonna become a thing of like,
it's-
I think
these,
it's
like,
gonna become a
sleeper
thing.
agents or
Yeah,
whatever.
in the next book.
I will
Like-
say 100% not gonna. This one, I don't have any hope she's ever gonna.
Really?
Explain. I have a feeling
but
she
Jack's
just
still
used
alive.
it as like. I have a feeling she just used it as a start to the country of Navarre falling apart, is because they had sleeper agents and all this shit. I
No,
don't
but
think she's gonna explain the sleeper agents thing.
all right, yeah, maybe not the sleeper agent things, but definitely like into more of like how the Venom work on like a physical
Oh no,
level,
yeah,
especially
Venom,
because
yes,
spoiler alert,
but
Zayden
I
is
think
now
the
kind of their Venom.
infiltration and
So
like that they've been around, like they've been in Navarre for like whatever
yeah,
years
that
is
was
like
like I wasn't really paying attention to that part, honestly.
Yeah.
that. No, because of course she's gonna explain Venom like more about them and their history and story. But
Yeah.
I feel like she should have like the sleeper agent thing made no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
Yeah, it's just
Jack.
the kind of thing that I don't like. I think that could be like a very cool and interesting plot twist, and like to learn about like how that happened, and like do they have like a secret society that's been like working, and what is their goal and stuff like that. But I just don't
Mhm.
believe that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't think
but
we're going to
then
get those kind of answers.
and then Jack kills not kill, breaks the Wardstone, and then Brennan comes and they're gonna try to mend the Wardstone. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know mending wasn't only for healing.
Yeah,
Like
I
people.
also I
That was the
forgot
first
that you
time,
could break
which I
like
guess makes
fix
sense
broken
because they
things.
didn't name it like healing.
Yeah.
It's mending. So I
I
guess it
th-
makes sense, but I just never thought about
I
it.
think of it like Bleach's Orihime's what
Oh,
was
like
the
her
name of the
power, yeah,
power?
because her
Yeah, yeah,
power
yeah.
is also technically mending, but like actually, it's not mending. It's
It's reversing
reversal of
time.
causality.
Yeah.
Like you can reverse
Mm.
the injury, so it essentially is healing.
Mm-hmm. Andre, are you still looking up the
Yeah,
bloodshot
I'm
thing? Okay,
looking
all
up
right.
like
Let us
but
know if
then
you
Long
find
again,
backsides
anything.
have been blood.
Yeah.
she doesn't really like describe Jack. Now I'm looking back at it.
Oh, maybe
Because I'm
not.
looking because like here, the first time his name is ever mentioned is just Jack Barlow, the one behind me answers. So I'm looking for the one behind me. Um, but there's the only time Bloodshot's ever mentioned is just when Violet thought that she would turn like into a Venom because it was still like a cult story.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's too many mentions of Red to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
But also, 61.
But
We're at war, fighting the Venom now.
Wait, I have a
oh
funny
no,
comment for
Jack, here you
60.
go.
Go
Jack
ahead, Andrea.
vibrates with rage, his thick blonde brows slashing down over Arctic blue eyes.
Okay, so he has blue colored
So
irises, but I guess his eyes aren't red,
And
like as in they're not getting bloodshot yet.
So they were, I'll look back and forth to see if I can find any mention of him having red or bloodshot eyes. But
maybe after like maybe at the threshing it was different, but at
maybe
It was
least he's
he only turned
described as
Venom after
having
threshing, but it was because when he
no, it was
challenged
after
Violet.
threshing, yeah. Because he specifically turns into a Venom. He kind of like implies it like
Because of
when he
threshing.
didn't get chosen by a good dragon and
Yeah.
like Violet was chosen by the strongest dragon, it drove him insane. That
He became a
damn.
terrorist.
dude, that's the
Then
most little dick energy. That's the most little dick energy I've ever heard in my
Yeah.
life.
Also,
He
how
didn't
do you
get picked.
become a
For
Venom
real.
then? I thought you had to be corrupted or like by
No,
another Venom.
well, I mean, I don't want to skip to the end right now, but like anyone can become a Venom.
Yeah.
They said you don't have to be corrupted. You just have to. You just
I think
have
it's
to
just like
absorb the
greed.
magic from the
Yeah,
world.
it's just
The
like a
ground, yeah.
lust for power.
Yeah,
that
you
you're like
need to have
willing to
a
take it
lust for
from the
power,
world
and you're
rather
willing to
than
take it from the world itself, which
The
is
life
like a
stream.
taboo. The
Right,
life
yeah.
stream,
the
basically.
live stream.
Yo, my man's joined Shinra.
Oh no.
But
So is the
61.
sage Sephiroth?
Maybe.
Wait, yes.
He's like,
Yes,
find me
the
the black
sage is
materia cloud.
Sephiroth.
It's and Violet's having the dreams about the sage.
Oh my god,
Black
wait.
materia.
In my head, whenever she faces down the stage again, that's all that's gonna. Or oh wait, no,
The one-winged angel.
In my head, it's just gonna be. But you get to see some good old mom and daughter complimentary signet action going down at this war.
Oh, it's
That was actually really cool. I like that. I like that they have
It's
complementary
fun.
signets, and like they finally get to use them together.
Yeah. 63, I said, let's go Indarna, ruthless little teen dragon. I forgot what she did though. That was my comment in all caps.
Oh,
She,
also,
like,
fun, like a nice note, like when she was like in the heat of battle, and they were all separated, and like the way she was like speaking out orders like very clearly, and they were like, Gale was like, or who was I think it was Gale was like, you're thinking like more like Tarn now. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Aw.
Where she's like,
Mm.
1 this, 2 that, 3 this.
Yeah.
Like she was like just naming orders
Uh-huh.
all out in order. And I was like, damn, I want to know more about Tarn's like history now too. Like
Yeah,
what
his
like that
lineage.
Yeah, he has a lineage. Yeah.
yeah, like I want to learn more
The
about him.
Kaidenak line or something like that.
Yeah.
They should publish an encyclopedia of dragons, like the Dragonology books before the
Honestly, yeah,
fourth
they,
week
they
dragons.
they need us. What is that? Lord of the Rings, the Silmarillion.
The
Silmarillion.
Silmarillion. We need
Silmarillion.
some of that, right? Isn't that like kind of like a world book?
That's
Yeah.
literally the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like a history
Oh yeah, so we
book,
need more of
yeah.
that, but like for all the dragons.
Yeah, we need Cowrie's guide
Mhm.
to Field Guide to Dragons.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
actually though.
Oh, that would actually be so cool. Carrie's Guide to Dragon, like his book.
With
I would buy a limited
amendments.
edition of that and make
Yeah.
it look like something within world.
That'd be cool.
Pay $300.
Well, that's what they did with like
Hardcover.
Harry Potter books. They
Mhm.
have like they have like books from the world that were like
Yeah, and
actually
if they
That's
did like
cool.
leather bound, hardcover,
unheard
like
of.
metal tips at the end, like I would pay $300 for that easily.
All right,
I just
63.
like dragons.
64. I said thank you for your service, General Sorengale. That was actually really sad. That was a very
Oh
sad
wait, before
scene.
64,
Mhm, what?
62, Sawyer lost a leg.
Oh, okay, yeah. I skipped
Yeah.
over that, but he's okay. He's okay. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would have noticed.
He's alive, but I was like,
He's
when
legless.
I thought he
Attack
was
on
gonna die,
Titan.
but even then I was like, bro lost his
I
entire
think I've
leg.
been desensitized for Attack on Titan. I'm like, oh, bro just lost his leg. His his arms are still there. It's fine.
But I
His
will say,
one leg.
it's okay. Hiccup or whatever his name is, How to Train Your Dragon, also lost a leg, and he just has a peg
Really?
leg now,
Oh
and he's all
shit!
good.
That's spoiler alerts. I've never seen How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, okay, I mean that's your fault for never watching the masterpiece of the trilogy. But like,
Wait, when does he lose his
Spoiler
leg though? In the
alerts from
second
How to Train
one,
Your
the
Dragon
third
from
one?
like 2008.
yeah, okay, we're within spoiler or allowed now
I
for How
know.
to Train Your
Wait,
Dragon.
but so
okay?
in which movie does he actually lose his leg? The first one?
Oh wait, it was How to Train Your Dragon 2, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because the first one is when
I've only seen the
Toothless
first one.
he loses half of his tail, like
What the hell? This
like
dragon
fin thing.
Oh my god.
And like the reason why Hiccup and him become friends is because he helps Toothless by making because he's like an inventor, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
He makes
a
an
little
an
contraption
artificial
that'll
fin
fly.
for him that like also
Aw.
like he can
Oh,
flex his
so
muscles so
cute.
that he can still control it exactly like a regular tail fin. And then in the second movie, he couldn't save Toothless in time, like catch him before one of his legs gets eaten by a dragon.
Oh shit.
So then Hiccup makes himself a peg leg, and now they're both disabled buddies
Aw.
with prosthetics.
That's so cute. Yeah, I wonder if Sawyer's gonna get like a prosthetic.
I feel
'cause
like he will.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what kind of like technology they have for that, because he can't really be probably a writer anymore.
Oh,
like, I think
shoot.
that's pretty
Ooh,
debilitating.
maybe he'll be
Hey,
a
He's
scribe
very-
with Jasenia.
We don't know.
I really want him to be a scribe. Yeah.
I mean,
so
like he
so
could
him and
be
Jasenia
on
can hang out.
Dragonback.
No, but
it'd
yeah,
be
I
quite
don't think he'll ever
limiting.
be the level of rider that the rest of them are.
Unless
or
they
will
develop
become.
magical, like legs.
But to be fair, how much of his leg did he lose? Actually, I don't remember them
to the
saying.
knee or to the thigh, I don't remember.
In my mind, it's like knee down.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't remember.
I
but yeah.
feel like losing a leg is a lot better than losing an arm in this case. So I feel I feel like he could still be a rider with just losing one half of your leg.
But how do you stay in your seat?
Maybe he'll have a saddle too. Like
Yeah, he
Violet.
needs to get strapped in.
Yeah.
If Violet
Yeah.
with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome can be a writer, so can Sawyer.
Mm.
That's true. If Violet
Yeah.
can barely
I
get off
wonder-
that saddle without dislocating every joint in her body, Sawyer
Yeah.
can probably still be a good rider with like a prosthetic leg.
Yeah. I just wonder like what I don't know like what the level of like technology in this world is for like that kind of stuff. I
Mhm.
was like, oh, it'd be really cool if he has like a cool like magic
Mm.
prosthetic. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't
Uh,
know world wise like what.
Yeah, I don't know
is
like how much
possible.
magic is in this world for something like that, but we'll see. I guess. I mean, at least he did.
Maybe now that they have knowledge of runes and stuff like
Mm.
that, they might have a lot more
But I will
technological
say, why does she keep
expansion.
hurting all of Violet's friends so badly?
It's just like
Yeah,
Attack
I
on
thought
Titan.
Riddick was gonna die again, and
Yeah,
I was like, Yarros, I'm gonna burn the book.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I actually really did scar us with killing off the most likable character in the first book.
Yep. But no, the promise. Remember
Mhm.
the Iron Squad promise that they're all gonna make it to
Yeah,
the end of their
Oh,
third year,
man.
quote unquote, whatever the third year
but
means
also we see.
Yeah, which is basically a promise that somebody's gonna die.
now.
Like you
Yeah,
can't do
that's
that kind
true.
of shit. Like
But also we get to see
they've been marked because of
Venom
that.
comes to attack Violet, and then Adarna creeps from the shadows.
Oh yeah,
invisible.
that's why I wrote that. Yep.
Ooh, she's all
Let's go,
She's
shaggy.
a
Adarna.
shadow dragon.
Wow.
Oh, and she can breathe
yeah.
fire now.
Oh yeah, that was new. That was new.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess getting a little ahead to how Andarnar is like a secret seventh type of dragon. It didn't make sense
Yeah.
to me. Like this was the one time where like the hints actually kind of made sense, where it said like, "Oh, today Andarnar's scales look a little blue," or like, for some reason like she's shimmering or
Mhm.
green. Like I'm like, Andarnar's definitely going to be some like weird special dragon.
Yeah, because like they wouldn't. That was the only one where it was obvious enough that I'm like, that's weird. Like it must mean something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that one was okay.
I'm
Everything
like,
else,
oh,
Yarros
that's what
makes
all
improvement.
of the hints should have.
Yeah,
felt
like
like.
all the
Yes.
hints should always be like that feels
Reoccurring. Yeah.
reoccurring and like unique enough that I would
The
note it.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, because you shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah.
to. It shouldn't be something like a hint is something I retroactively have to piece together.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like really,
Yeah.
she should,
hey, at least you got one. One thing was hinted correctly.
Well, yeah, one of the most major things to come from this
Mhm.
book.
But then, unfortunately,
Well, but it's not like officially
Yeah.
revealed really like what
Yeah, we don't know what it
her
is.
color is. I was
Yeah,
like rainbow.
It's a
'Cause I
secret
was like
seven
number
thing.
7 is rainbow, or
my
like
first idea was
chameleon.
popped in my head was rainbow, but then it could be something like maybe like prismatic, like where like
Ooh.
you kind of
Yeah, like
reflect
iridescent.
iridescent, like you reflect.
Yeah.
You're like in any color because you can reflect light. or
She's
some shit like that.
she's color fluid.
Yeah,
Color
yeah.
fluid.
Whatever she wants to be, she is.
But unfortunately, General Soaringale bites the bullet.
Thank you for your service.
Rip.
Thank you for your service.
Salute emoji.
Happy
F's in the
Memorial
chat.
Day.
F's in the chat.
Because Violet was about to sacrifice him. But I will say, okay, actually, I'll wait till the next one. But Violet was about to sacrifice herself, and then her mom was like, nah, shut up.
Damn. Yeah, that was really sad though, when she like was basically dragging Sloane, and Sloane's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, what is she arguing about? I'm like, oh, it's because she's a Siphon. But yeah, that was pretty sad. I
Mhm.
don't know. I think this death scene is probably sadder to me than Liam's death scene, just like in terms of like describing it in Like,
Yeah.
what is happening.
Yes, and also like they finally had like somewhat of a decent relationship like starting, and now her mom's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at least her mom
Mhm.
loved them all along.
Yeah. And even Brennan felt
Yeah.
like shitty that the mom did that. So, it's gonna bring them all together. The trio will be closer for it, I guess.
Mhm.
Hmm. But yeah, that
But-
was very sad.
And
They-
when the mom was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go meet your dad." and,
Yeah,
like, sent her
oh,
back
that's
to
sad.
Canada.
Yeah.
That reminded me when she was like, it's like, I thought you made me join the Riders because you hate scribes. And she was like, are you fucking stupid? I married a
Yeah,
scribe.
I loved your
Yeah.
I loved your dad.
I love it. Like her mom's like, why would I ever hate scribes? Your dad was a scribe, and I love that, man.
Aw.
Yeah, I was like, that was pretty funny. But damn, yeah, she's gone. But
And
they win the war or the battle.
The battle.
technically.
But have they won
Yeah,
the
the
war?
Battle.
But there was a casualty.
yeah, a mystery one.
And we don't
See?
really know how it happened. Exactly.
Yeah, you do.
Do we?
Hey, it's
Yeah, explain
yeah,
in the last
it's
chapter.
Yeah, I read it, but it's like, so he
In
made the
the
decision
Zayden
himself?
Gilby chapter.
I
Yeah,
gotta
no,
reread that
they-
shit.
Well, and
they-
that's, to be honest, that's what confused me about because
It
of
was
You
a
always
Venom.
make
dream.
the decision yourself.
No, because
Yeah.
no one really know. No,
Or he's having a nightmare.
Yeah,
of
like a
that.
flashback,
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah.
no, because
Like, a nightmare.
venom. I don't know if they specifically said it like this, but like you just have to absorb the power of the world, and then because you're essentially ripping something that doesn't belong to you, it then exacts a price, which is your soul.
So wait, what did he trade though? Like, what was? I understand that
The
the Venom's
soul.
probably threatening. No, but like in exchange for what? Like, I thought the
Magic.
Venom was gonna kill Violet, and Zane's like, fine, I'll become a Venom or some shit. That's what I didn't understand.
No. He ran. He was out of power during that fight. He was
Oh
gonna
yeah, because he was
lose,
dying. Yeah.
and so
Oh,
he
all right.
forcibly ripped extra power from the world to get the last push to kill the venom.
I did not get any of that from reading it. What the
Wait,
hell?
really?
I gotta, let me
She's actually explained that kind of clearly.
hold on a sec. I think I was because I was reading it too fast. I was like, oh my god, it's in the last chapter. But let me pull up the book again.
Yeah, so and I think like Barlow says like to become a venom, it's just you have to essentially steal magic from the world and have the lust for it for whatever
Mhm.
reason, whether good or bad. And that is what slowly brings you down the path to becoming a true venom. Because once you do it once, it's like becoming a vampire. You just always have a thirst for more.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think like he kind of mentions it in the dream sequence, like the slush beneath my palm melts and I feel there's something beneath me, a steady flow of unmistakable power. I
Yeah.
Oh,
think that's
okay,
when
that's
he
the
like
sentence. Yeah.
And then you see
yeah.
like the little red flecks in his eyes now, and I'm just
Damn.
Zayden,
Casualty of
and also
war.
the thing that made me mad about this was
Yeah.
that
It was
Violet didn't
affordable.
even like. It just I
Violet
was
didn't
like,
what?
I get no, like because I think he said like Violet's gonna sacrifice because he could feel Violet dying too. So I think he did it too so that he could like help Violet not
This
die.
is like
And I
a
was just
Romeo and
like,
Juliet type situation where they both think they're
and
gonna
I was like,
die.
I get it. He doesn't know that she wasn't actually about to die because her mom was gonna
That's what I'm
sacrifice
saying. It was
herself.
all avoidable.
But
Like he
I,
really didn't need it.
Yeah.
He
but
could
to
have
be
just
fair,
ran.
like
He could
in
have
the
ran
context of
before he
him
got
in the
caught.
moment, he
Yeah.
would never have known that Violet wasn't about to die. Aside, because
Yeah.
he could feel her dying. So like, I think he just thought
Yeah.
he had to get there right away.
Unfortunate.
And that's like a classic normal trope of
Mhm.
tragedy
Yeah.
is that not the characters don't have all of the same information, so unavoidable things happen. That's like it is Romeo and
Yeah.
Juliet, right? Like
Mhm.
neither of them had to die, but it's because nobody has all of the
But
information.
and then
that did make
Zayden
sense to
goes
me,
to
but
meet
then-
up with
yeah.
Barlow to ask for help, and Barlow is still a dick.
Yep.
He's like, "There's no stopping it now. You're one of us."
He's like one of the crazy people tied up in the
Yeah.
insane asylum who's just like egging you to like
Oh,
also
yeah.
become crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
My last note at the end of the book said, I mean, all I can say is thank God it was Zayden that they got to turn and not fucking Violet, because with her like level of self-control, it
Oh,
would have
yeah,
taken
no.
about 10 seconds before she just lost her mind and went full
Yeah,
evil
she
villain.
would have become the next sage in 10
Well,
minutes.
I think that was the whole point, is that they want her to
Yeah.
become the next stage. So
Yeah, because she has she already has such a powerful
Yeah.
magic that if she became a sage, she'd be unstoppable.
Yep. Tempting. Maybe
But
this is
it's
what
like
they're
at
gonna
least
threaten her with in the
Zayden is
next
like
book.
And I will say their signets
Yeah.
are kind of like they're complementary and like opposites of each other because Zayden's shadow, she's lightning with the shadow, with the dark, beat the light.
You think the
Light,
darkness will beat the light?
beat the darkness.
But now that we finished the book, you know, honestly, I still like the book.
Yeah, it
I
was
just kind of
enjoyable.
kind of gloss over the shitty writing in certain character aspects. I think I just gloss over Violet as a human being, except for when
Jesus.
she's fighting. Because in the fighting scene, she's so cool, but when she opens her mouth, it's like all the smartness goes away. Like
You're like, dang, Zayn's attracted to this.
But when she's like in a fight, like you can see that she actually is smart and clever or talking about book stuff.
But like almost
it's
by
like
accident sometimes.
Yeah, but like whenever it's interpersonal relationships, dumbass. Like
Yeah, I think that this
or even like outside of a battle scenario, like strategizing, not
you're
that
right,
good.
true. It's very like impromptu plans that are very not thought out.
She's like, I hope this works, and then like the magic of the plot makes it work.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I think this is gonna be my last book of the Empyrean series. So
You're not reading Onyx Storm?
You gotta finish
Nah,
it.
I'm gonna
It's so easy.
I'm gonna tap out.
There's so many more books.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be
Oh,
4,000,000 pages long.
I
There's
oh I
nothing
like
missed.
the
I'll
see
read the Cliff's
Yeah.
notes.
I like Onyx. I still like these books, so I'm gonna read all the way
Yeah, they're
all the way
not
through.
bad. I think they're like. I mean, I'm not gonna. I haven't been.
But the
buying
thing is,
them yet, so.
I once again, I am a vibe reader, and I can completely disregard any bad writing if I just like stuff in the book. And
Yeah.
Wait until
I
we
like
start
dragons and
reading
magic.
Mistborn, right? Because we're
Oh no,
we're
Yeah,
still
I
but
just
I've
think
read
yeah.
good fantasy before. It's just
there's
that like
so
I
much
don't
better things
care,
I could be reading.
but I just like this enough for me to
Yeah,
still read
it's
it. I
quick
have
too.
unlimited time. Guys,
Yeah.
also I watch isekai.
Yeah.
You know my taste is garbage.
That's true. It's just
But
both-
like, you can have. I think there's stuff like that where it's like quote unquote garbage or like guilty pleasure stuff, but it's still like good for
No,
what it
exactly.
that's
I
not
is.
that's not a
Like,
true
this-
guilty
this
that's not a
isn't
true
that to
guilty
me.
pleasure. A true guilty pleasure is objectively bad, but you still enjoy it.
No, like I like literally read otome isekai. Like that's how garbage I can get. I read fanfics that are written by 13-year-olds. That's true garbage. But
No, I get why you wouldn't want to read the rest of this. To be fair, I'm just saying I like dragons and magic, and I'm already invested enough in Zayden that like
Yeah, I just need
not Violet,
closure.
Zayden. Like I just want to know more about Zayden. I wish the main character was just Zayden. Like
yeah, that's my problem. Like I don't like the main character in the I see the world through the main character's eyes.
that's true.
Mhm, they should make it
every
third
But
person then.
Yeah, I
I
think
do need to know what happens with Zayden though.
it would be a lot more. I could stand it more if we weren't inside of.
Yeah,
Violet
exactly.
I agree.
the whole time.
I
It's
wish she
very
did
hard to be Violet.
like Sarah J. Maas after like the first book in A Court of Thorns and Roses. You start doing a lot of like it's multi-personal
Switching
point of
perspectives.
views,
Yeah.
switching
Mm.
perspectives, and I think it really helped me get really. I already liked the first book a little bit because the world was interesting, but like being able to switch perspectives and you could do a lot of interesting stuff with it. I think this book would benefit so much from being able to switch
Exactly.
POVs. I hope that because the next book is about Zayden becoming a Venin, that she will. She already does chapters in Zayden's point of view. So it's like maybe this is the next one will actually be multi POV. Like I'll read it and I'll
hope
get
so.
back. I'll get back to you, Andrea, if it's actually worth reading
Yeah.
when it
I'm
comes out.
gonna still
Yeah,
read it
that's
when it
all.
comes out as like
And
a
also,
side
my
book.
coworker is invested in this shitty book as much as I am, so at least I have someone to talk to about
But
it.
I did download Mistborn already. I think what's the first one is called something though. It's not just called Mistborn. It's called
Well of
Mistborn,
Intention.
the well. Wait, no.
No, it's another one.
The Final Empire.
The Final Empire.
Final
Yeah, yeah.
Empire.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Final
Okay.
Empire.
Yes, I downloaded that. So
My special set doesn't come in until June 4. Should I just buy it on like a cheap version? In the meantime, when are we gonna have our next book club? Is actually a good
it
question.
probably
No,
won't be
that's-
for a
I don't
while.
have
So
it.
Okay.
you're fine.
Also, wait.
Yeah.
Before we end, theory time for the
Mhm.
next book. Violet obviously is gonna get a second signet, right?
Of course.
It's almost 100%.
Wait, is she?
So
Because
So
she.
what is her need?
I mean, no,
Okay,
they
Darna.
they implied it because Andarna is also bonded to her. She'll probably get. They
Okay,
said they
yeah,
don't know because like
Yeah.
they don't know she'll get one because it's never happened before.
She
But
has
let's
to
be
have
real,
some level up.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get a second
Just
signet.
typical anime.
So
showing
boys.
you know, I started getting my cooking gear on to theory craft of what it would be. What do you guys think it would be?
Put on my
Well,
I
chef's
put on my
hat.
chef's hat
Put a
and
chef's
cooked
hat.
into cook was cooking a little bit.
Technically, it can't be a want, or I mean, a need, because this is not her second signet with Andarna. It's her first signet with Andarna.
So it's just like
So that's
whatever
manifestation
to
that's
her.
a good point.
personality.
Yes, I agree. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. But I think it's still my theory of what it'll be will still fit that it matches her, and it will also be a want and need.
What's
wait,
your
what do you guys
theory?
think?
I don't
Literally, I
have
want to know what
anything.
you guys think.
I
Do
don't
you
have
guys
It's
have
gonna
any
be
ideas?
a mind.
Yeah,
a
that's what
mind
I thought
signet.
too. Maybe where she can foresee like the next like 3 seconds, kind of like My Hero.
Mm-hmm.
I put
I feel like now with this like ending of the Zayden turning thing, it may be some kind of like
Healing?
healing type thing.
I actually well, my first thought when I first thought of this was it might be some sort of like poison / weakening related signet. You know, poison was a very big part of her ability to actually compete with other people, and poison, not poison itself, but like weakening people to get an advantage. Also,
So like a debuff. She can
Andarna
debuff
wound up
people.
becoming a scorpion tail, which also made me
Of course,
more
yeah.
like okay. And then but I was like maybe if it's not because I don't think it'll be directly poison because that's kind of stupid. So that's why I said weakening because in the end of the day, a poison is meant to weaken or debilitate your opponent.
Yeah, she'll
But
get some
I
debuff
was like,
spells.
because Zayden became a Venom, what if it's something like a magic dampener ability, not like a signet like cancellation like Bodhi's, but like a dampening? Because then it could help her fight Zayden, which she's probably gonna wind up having to do in the next book.
Oof.
And maybe it'll even be able to help her like dampen the effects of the thirst for magic that he has now.
It could also be an homage to her mom, because she already kind of has half of her. Oh no.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's possible. I mean, we never know. But I think I'm cooking with mine. Because it brings in elements of the first and the second book. I think I'm cooking. I think I'm cooking.
All right, let him cook.
Unrelated to her second signet, but now the Zayden Venom thing, do you think they're gonna have like a like vampire and lover situation where she like lets him feed on her power because she like
Oh
has
God.
so much so that he doesn't have to pull it from the evil source?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Maybe.
Hey, this is too much like Twilight now, which I didn't really
Satanist
want to
thirst.
happen. So.
or it's like if she has my dampening thing, maybe she's gonna be the only way he can survive without fully turning Venom until they find a true cure.
Yeah, I
Dang.
feel like it's got to be some kind of. Like,
But the reason why I
connected.
don't, even though I think having a mind signet would make sense because it also then it ties into her original love of being a scribe. I feel like if they give her a mind one too, I'm like it's like Zayden 2.0. Like again, like why would they both have
Yeah,
it?
it's
true.
too close.
Well, it could also be something time related because that was Andarna's original
Yeah,
power.
that's what I was thinking too. But then I was like, they did specifically mention that your signet is not related to your dragon's magic, like the manifestation of what signet is. So I was like, would they
Yeah,
do
it's
that?
more
Possible.
personal.
Yeah, what's Terrance's original magic then?
I don't think they ever mentioned it. Because I think
they don't. It goes away when they're not Feathertails
you
anymore.
only have an original magic at when you're a Feathertail.
Oh, I see.
And this was the first,
That's why they
and because
need
no
the humans.
Feathertails ever bonded with a human, they didn't know that they could give
Even do that, yeah.
do their magic basically, which is very very dangerous apparently too. Like clearly it fucked up Andarna, like for doing that so much.
Oh, I just had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, do we think maybe Nowlin is a Venom?
Why?
Because his thing when he died, it was like that he took too much. The way they explained it was that he took too much power and it overwhelmed him and killed him. What if he ended up, because he was a siphon, what if he ended up taking power from the ground and turned? So then he had,
I
had
wouldn't
to
be
disappear.
surprised if that's that's a good one.
Yeah.
See, this is theory cooking class 101 now.
Dang. That would be good though. I think that would be good. Yeah. But Brennan is like the only one that kind of knows what Nowlin looks like. Like as far as we know.
Oh yeah, because also you're right because
and lovers to enemies.
Brennan said when he
the
died,
real
like quote unquote
enemies to lovers
died,
all along.
he just woke up in a cave and he was alone. Like
so maybe Nowlin was successful.
What happened to Nowlin? We don't know. We just know what the government told us, and we can't trust the government.
I want Brennan to like, I guess, tell them more about like, I guess how, because did he even like fake his own death then? Was he planning on faking his own death, or he just managed to not die?
Oh, I'm wondering if I think like if Nowlin became a Venom, what if he like did the whole thing, he becomes a Venom, he saves Brennan, and then he leaves him in the cave and he can't be with his lover anymore because he knows he's corrupted and he's evil now.
Well, yeah,
but like with his last act of love, he leaves them alive in that cave where everyone thinks they died.
And he could have also taken enough power in the beginning to just completely become corrupted instead of transforming slowly.
Because you're basically bringing someone back to life.
Yeah.
And then
one life for one life.
And then they're gonna meet on the battlefield and kiss
at the end.
And that's
they're gonna end the war.
And that's how they end the war. Through true love's love is the true love is the true signet.
Yeah.
The most
not the Nakama
magic is the love.
power.
It's going into Harry Potter territory here.
That's
Hey, Harry Potter did it,
interesting.
and nobody said anything. I will give if Rebecca Yarros pulls that. I will
It
give
was
that to her.
it was. I think it's because it was early enough to do a trope like that and not be too cheesy.
I guess.
True.
Yeah, and also like they started out as children's books.
Yeah.
Like they were middle grade books. The beginning, the
Oh, yeah,
first few of them.
True. And this is
Yeah.
technically, isn't this like young adult fiction?
This is it.
No,
This
this
is
is
adult
adult.
fiction.
There's
Oh.
sex scenes. It's
Oh,
adult.
you can't have sex.
Oh wait, you're right.
in
You
YA.
can't.
Because I was.
It just has YA
Just a
vibes.
lot. A lot of
Honestly,
a lot of kids read it.
I think if you
But
took
it's
out
for-
the spicy scenes, then
for
it would
adults.
definitely be YA.
That honestly makes it even
I-
worse.
like
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Like Yarros leaves a lot to be desired in her writing and in the story building and in the world building. But I like
Maybe
dragons
Violet-
and magic.
Dialogue. That was another problem that
And the dialogue is
actual
like
writing.
brain dead, bro.
it's
Yeah.
terrible. Like there's no tone. But like what you were saying, Red. There, like the tone is terrible. The characters all sound the same because they all
I
Mhm.
think
use
that's
the
why
same
I
words.
can only stand like not stand, but like I get really into it when action's happening because they don't talk to
Yeah.
each other.
They all
Yep.
sound the
It's-
same.
yeah.
Like,
I
poor
like Riddick.
description.
Riddick is fun. I like him.
Yeah.
I want just Riddick and just Riddick.
Just him.
Riddick and
I
Zayden.
think I only know Riddick because he's a comedic. He's a comedic
Stupid
guy,
jokes.
but I wouldn't even know how to describe Rhiannon, for example.
Oh
And she's
yeah.
one of the main, like a really big supporting character. Like, how do you
Yeah.
even describe her? Like, what's her personality? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like she doesn't craft the side
Mhm.
characters very well at all. Like I get it, it's because it's single, it's like her point of view, so but like you could still be better.
But you would think that Violet would have thoughts about her friends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no. Actually, she only thinks about
And
Zayden.
No
it's so
thoughts,
surface
head
level when
empty.
she does have thoughts, like Riddick is a funny guy. Haha.
But here's the thing,
Like,
right?
oh,
Like,
Rhiannon, she's so loyal.
Yeah,
Each
it's
one
one
of-
of it's the most surface level descriptions of her friends. I'm like, do you not have a single deep thought about anyone aside from Zayden?
yeah.
And even then,
And
that's
then you think
questionable if
about
it's a
it.
deep thought because it's always indecent forearms. This like marvelous pectorals. That
His eyes and all that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do you
The
not have
ol-
a thought?
it's either just thinking about books, surface level thoughts of her friends, or fucking Zayden in her mind. Like
Oh
that's
my
the
God.
only three things she ever thinks about.
Because like if you think about it, we are like single, like we experience life single person or whatever, first person POV, right? But I can describe everybody with more like detail than just whatever
Yeah, then like Sawyer.
Violet can.
Sawyer
I mean-
loves what? I don't even
Oh,
know
wait.
anything about. I realize we know
Wait,
nothing
what do
about
you mean?
He's
Sawyer.
learning how to
We know
Sawyer,
nothing
sigh.
about
no.
we know nothing about Sawyer's personality through both her description or his
Or him.
actions. Like he has the
Yeah.
personality of a blank sheet of paper currently.
He has
Aside
the
from
personality of
likes,
someone learning
aside
how
from
to
he
sign.
likes Jessenia. Aside from liking Jessenia, that's the only personality
Yeah.
trait we know.
And I guess
Learning how to
determined because
sign.
he repeated threshing.
Yeah, he repeated a
twice,
year. That
so
was like,
Yeah.
yo, twice?
Yeah, he
I thought
repeated
you
a
only
year, so
repeated it.
determined.
He repeated
Sorry,
it
once.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
repeated,
Repeated.
yeah, he repeated.
Yeah.
He repeated. Yeah, like
So it's-
determined, but that's about it. Like I don't even know what
Everyone's
he said
determined
ever, other
in
than
this world.
and like
he
we know
will-
he can melt metal or control metal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only three things we know about this man.
That's not a personality trait.
Technically,
that's what's on
you know,
his Hinge
signets
profile.
are actually based on your personality, so it
He's
is a
learning how to
personality.
sign.
How? 'Cause, like,
And
I
he
know
can
that.
bend metal.
who was the ice melt?
Riddick is the ice
was
one.
Riddick,
Yeah.
right? How is he ice? He's the comedy guy. If
You know,
anything,
yeah,
he
that's what
should
I'm
be-
saying. Like she says, signets are based off of your personality and like who you are, like innately, right? Not personality, but who.
So Riddick should be throwing banana peels that everyone slips on.
Yeah, no, but like,
Oh
but
my
no,
God.
with,
He
with,
can create endless
with
banana
how much
peels.
description of we have as Riddick as a person, ice makes zero sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like the thing is, like, sure, it makes sense for Violet and Zayden, and I guess you could argue like Melgren and like some of like the bigger, like more powerful signets. But for everyone else, like, the fuck, that's not a good. That's not accurate.
Yeah. Well, but I think it's not always that deep for everyone because like there's so many people that manifest signets. They're like, oh yeah, like sometimes there are just common ones, like ice is kind of a common one, or
guess,
like
yeah.
fire or
Yeah.
things like that. I think maybe like if you're not cool and special enough, then it's like not super
I
reflective
fucking
of.
hate. I fucking hate
you,
Chosen
but
One. I mean, I don't hate them. I watch
You,
Isekai.
yeah, we watch isekai. It's always the chosen one who goes
actually,
down there.
I'm the chosen one.
But like even with Chosen Ones, you could still make the side characters interesting.
Just like Dungeon Meshi.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot to be desired. I'm hoping Onyx Storm will fix all my issues. I don't think it will, but
Yeah, we'll see. I'll read it too, Lewis. But
Yeah,
right,
I'll
I'll
how?
read. If anything, I'll read the Spark Notes so
don't
that I
worry,
can
Andre.
I can like.
Don't worry, Andrea.
Yeah,
I'll write a
follow
book
along.
report for you.
Yeah,
Aw.
right.
Yeah,
We'll
write
both
a
turn book
review.
reports in.
One inch
Tell me
margins,
the
3,000 words.
give
Double spaced MLA format.
give me the chapters that are the
Yeah.
Nowlin backstory, and I'll read
Yeah.
those.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll still write notes about it just so I could tell you guys about it, and if it's even worth reading for you guys.
Nice.
My prediction's probably gonna be the answer is no, but I like the vibe of the book enough for me to get into it. I
Yeah,
just
it's fine.
wish it was less romance because it kind of sucks.
I want some like good romance ones now because it's like, dang.
Because there are good romance. I feel like Akatar did the romantasy a lot better than this one did. Because this one just feels stupid. The romance, like they feel stupid to me.
Yeah, the characters
Yeah,
themselves.
They have the chemistry of like I don't know, like
Of the carpet and my
a
shoe.
blank. Yeah, like that. It's like
They go
have
together,
no
I guess.
Like it doesn't feel like they actually have chemistry aside from one because like the only chemistry they have is Violet I fucking him all the time. Like which is not chemistry.
No,
That's
it
just
is.
lust.
You're very right. It is not.
That's what I'm saying. She's
And,
like,
like
just
and I feel like if you
too,
have to tell me how much they like can't control themselves without it feeling real, there's something wrong with the romance between the two. Like or at least how it's written.
Yeah, I want like a steamy build up, not just like a oh my god, I really want to like be on top of it right now.
I will say, Akatar though, the one thing is
Oh look, now I'm on top of it.
the first book, technically this actually second book on it turns it there's like an enemies to lovers thing. And like but it was in the second book they get together. So I was like, that's kind of fast for
Aw,
me. But the first book actually she was in love with someone else. And the
Ooh.
guy she gets with for the rest of the books is an enemy. And like you learn stuff and then yeah. I feel like I shouldn't have spoiled that on this
It's
Twitch
fine.
stream.
It's fine.
Good
It's
for
fine.
book review. You learn stuff. And
The
then,
thing is, though, because I was about to start saying more stuff, I was like, wait, I
Yeah.
realized Guitar's too new of a book for me to just shout spoilers like this.
Spoiler alert for anyone out there who's been reading Akatar. But yeah,
But,
all right. Should we choose?
They learn stuff.
But
and
I
then,
will
yeah.
say, I see many people reading like Fourth Wing and Akatar in the subways now. I can't not see it now that I know.
Dang, this
Yeah.
is gonna be
What-
this generation's like Edward and Bella. Although I guess for adults because it's an adult book, but
I feel
You
like
get what I'm
Iron Flame
saying.
is actually more popular, widespread for like mainstream readers. So I feel like it will be low-key, even though it's not that good.
mm-hmm.
I feel like
Which
Twilight
one?
is low-key more believable than this is.
I think I'm having more fun
Twilight's
reading this than
better.
Twilight for some reason though. But
No,
it's
I
been like
had more
10
fun
years.
reading this one than Twilight.
Yeah,
but the romance
Twilight was
in
long,
Twilight
that's
is
why.
better than this one.
I guess, but they also make stupid decisions in Twilight as well. Like
Oh no, 100%.
not even like
But
plot
they never
related.
tell me that they never told me every other chapter that Bella is the smartest person in the world and a creature of logic. So
That is true.
Yeah, that's right. They never lied about her characterization.
yeah, they never lied about the character or like kept saying something about a character and then immediately making her do something that goes against what they just said.
Proving
Yeah,
it false.
very true, very true.
Yeah.
And she actually is a high schooler in that one. So
Yeah, you can forgive her.
Edward is Edward. I have nothing to say about that. But also in the movie, we get the best line ever in like anything I've ever seen. Where you been?
Look.
Where you been? Wait.
So
Did
I'm
you
just
see
saying.
the TikTok I sent you that it was translated to different languages?
Yes, I watched every single link.
Wait, what was it though? In the other language.
Wait.
It was like
I wish
it was the "Where you been" Loca scene, but in like every language it was dubbed in.
it was so funny because they all use the word loca even in like French.
Really?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
and
Yeah.
they
Donde
all use
está
loca.
loca?
Does
And it
stuff
was
in
so
English.
someone said I read one of the comments, it's so funny. Imagine in the Spanish one, they're like where you been, but like in Spanish, and then they said crazy instead in English.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, the emphasis isn't the same.
Yeah. But yeah, that's whatchamacallit. I'm excited for
hmm
Mistborn.
Me too. So
So
wait,
I'm also
when?
really excited to get to Stormlight Archive because the new book is
me
coming
too.
out
Your new
in
book's coming
December.
out in I thought it's November.
No, I think it's December or something.
Okay, yeah. My coworkers who all have read Stormlight Archives once are started rereading them so that they can get ready for the next book.
Dang, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm like
But
what's the word?
I think it's good for us to start with Mistborn, at least from Sanderson himself, right? He said Mistborn is probably one of the best entryways to get used to his writing, and it's not his
Exactly.
first stuff, so it's like his writing and it's like a lot more honed
Wait, and we
in.
said the books were a little shorter than like Fourth Wing
Yeah,
or Iron Flame.
because
Okay.
Mistborn is like YA, technically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
it's the first few books are very YA, I heard, but then as you get to second and third book, and especially the second trilogy that's like a time skip, those are I think actually adult fantasy at that
Okay,
point.
that should be easy to read.
But
Still, then.
it starts
Yeah,
YA
like quick.
and then gets darker as it goes along, is what I've
Nice.
heard.
But you won't notice it's YA because of the like after reading
It's
whatchamacallit, the Empyrean series,
Yeah,
you
this
won't
book-
really
That's what I'm
think
saying. Like,
it's
I'm
No, yeah.
fine reading YA. It's
Is-
okay.
and
yeah.
I will say like the only complaint I've ever heard about him is apparently his prose is very simplistic. But
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
Like
even
really
too
that.
simple.
But that's not even that's like one of the like a non-complaint I think, unless you're like a really obnoxious and like condescending like reader.
Yeah, and we're trying
Like
to get through
the
these
prose
anyway.
is too simple
So,
for me.
I don't know. Well, I guess we don't have a copy right now. I have the ebook, but I had to go get my tablet, which has the ebook reader. So I don't know how many
Yeah.
chapters we want to read and when. But when is the next availability for book club? And we'll
How many
figure out.
pages? How many pages is in it? At least from just like the web one.
The web one. Let me just go into it because I just have it.
Yeah, because I still have to
too.
get my copy coming June 4.
Yeah, I'll have to get a copy too, so it'll be.
All right. Let me see.
Shipped with DHL. Where the fuck
So-
is this coming from?
DHL means like
DHL.
express. It's coming.
There's
like, really
actually
quickly.
5 parts to the book, and they all seem like, for example, after part 1, you're done with 25% of the book. After part 2, you're done with 40% of the
Mistborn.
book.
So
Well,
should
let
we
me
just
look at
read?
the-
Well-
Oh wait, book 1 is 213,348 words. For context, Iron Flame. Oh wait, these books are not shorter. What the fuck are we
No, they're-
talking about?
They're
No.
long books. They're just
Oh,
shorter
yeah.
than the Stormlight Archive.
For context of how much that means, Iron Flame is 251,000 words. So it's only
251,000.
40,000 words. It's 40,000 words shorter.
Oh, this first Mist.
So actually, it's more in line, I think, with Fourth Wing's word count.
Comparable.
Fourth Wing.
That's fine. So I mean, it also depends on when our next
Oh
book
wait, no,
club is.
Fourth Wing
to
was
see how much we wanna
248,000.
read.
It's yeah, it's like it's sizable, but it's not as long.
So what's everyone's availability? Then we could say we'll either read like half of the book or like 3 parts of the book.
My book's supposed to not come until next Tuesday, unfortunately, but I can read pretty fast, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Do you want to do? Let's see.
We have the orchestra June 8 and Malia's visiting, so we probably shouldn't do that weekend.
Well, Malia's gonna be at Govball all day on
Oh, you're right.
Sunday on the 9th, so
If
I'll be
my
free
book
anyway,
comes on time, then I should be able to read it by like June 9 or something.
Okay, yeah, I'm free.
That's if it comes on time. I actually don't know. There's no tracking on it because it's international.
Well, June 9th,
DHL comes
I
pretty
have
quick usually, though.
graduations from 5 to 10 p.m.
Okay, so let's
So-
maybe you want to do like the weekend after?
No, then my
16th?
sister's coming with Merlin.
Uh,
I can do like at noon.
Yeah, and I'll be.
Yeah, on the 9th, like at 11
Wow.
On the
a.m.,
9th?
12 p.m.
Hopefully my book comes on time. But
so
if it doesn't, I'll just
let's just read the
on the
first
Wednesday.
part for
Wait,
part 1.
Where did you
Yeah.
find the book? Yeah, did you buy it or did
me.
you
I just downloaded
find...
an ebook online.
Yeah.
Where did you find the ebook?
I
Did you guys
just
send it to me?
googled.
So like maybe I'll just start reading on the ebook and then just like
Okay, yeah. Do you have
continue
a?
reading.
You need like an ebook reader, so I just download it to my tablet, or you could find something else that has it. But yeah, I can share it.
You can read it on your phone too.
Oh,
Usually.
nice. Okay, yeah, I'll read it on my phone. Just
Yeah.
so, like, because I
Ebook.
kind of want to start reading right away. Because I'm like, I've been wanting to read this book for like 5 months now, but like
Dang.
we were, or okay, maybe not. Wait, like, because I kept saying I was gonna read it after I read Rick Riordan, but then we started the book club, and then I was like, I don't, I kind of don't.
What is the name of the first one?
Mistborn: The Final
Um.
Empire.
Yeah, the
They
Final
have it at
Empire.
What's the name of the one?
Green
The
Book,
Final.
whatever, the bookstore near me. I saw online. If you want to go there and buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go.
But they only have the mass market
But
edition, unfortunately. They don't have the cooler editions.
mm,
I heard though
Dang.
Target sells the cool version. So if you want to check out Target too, and see if they have it in stock any Targets, you could go there.
Alright, I sent you a Drive shared
Because the
thing.
Mistborn has the non-mass market one, but that's not like a limited edition like that I bought. Is the covers are really I really love them. It's actually very similar to mine, but it's reverse contrast. So it's like a lot of dark with black or it's dark with light silhouettes, I think. But mine is like white with black silhouettes.
Alright, let me end the stream and then we'll figure out dates more. But anyway, dang. Second book of Empyrean series. I guess we'll figure out more about the Empyreans too. I just realized they don't really talk about the Dragon Order much. That's why we need the Dragon Lore book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if they ever will at some point go into more about the Empyrean, because like I
It's
feel like
called
even
the
the next book
Empyrean series, though. I feel like they should.
really make sense to me that actually no, maybe it will make sense because now that Xanon's a Venom, it implicates stuff with scale, and like dragon secrets are kind of just out and about now. Maybe they will finally involve the Empyrean.
Dragon secrets are just all
Maybe.
over the
Yeah,
place.
so
And you don't
maybe
know
they
which
actually.
ones are still secret or not.
Yeah, so maybe
Alright, so
they
before.
will.
Alright, so I'm gonna stop the stream. Anyway, thanks to anyone who watches this, the VOD or on YouTube. And the next book club stream will be listed on my About whenever.